Incredible Hulk will not be presented. The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
All right, everybody, welcome. This is a new format. Let me know that you can hear me because we're not using headphones, and I'm just banking on the fact that hopefully you guys can hear me. Hey now, Mikey Newman. Hey now, Andrew Collins. What's happening, guys? Let me know that you guys can hear us. Say hello to Chuck. Chuck, say hello.
Hello.
And you guys remember Krelbar? My protection has expired. We can get rid of that. It's all right. We can hear. Okay, good.
There you go.
Excellent. Yeah. If I wish I could see, I can get rid of this stupid thing. All right.
It'll slide, right?
Hmm?
There you go.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, guys, it's Labor Day. Today we are smoking, all three of us are actually smoking the same cigar. We are at the White Ash Cigar Lounge here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. If you're anywhere near Pawtucket, Rhode Island, folks, you should always take a trip down here. It's a great room. One of the owners is sitting right over here next to me. This is Don. I'll bring him on. Don, get a slide in if you can.
Okay.
This is Don.
Hi, guys.
Don is also smoking the same cigar we're all smoking here. Don, why don't you tell us a little about the cigar?
This is a great cigar. I mean, the Cavalier line is awesome. This particular cigar is called the Viso Jalapa. That's why they call it the VJ. That's the section just below the Ligero leaf, which is the strongest leaf. So you're getting a more balanced wrapper on there. It's not as strong. It's full of pepper with nice notes of cocoa on it. Again, a well-blended cigar. Looks beautiful. It painted gold on the wrapper there is their signature. Make sure they can see that. It's just a quality cigar. It's a Nicaraguan Puro produced in their tobacco factory in Honduras. So it's got fillers of Nicaraguan Habano. The binder is Nicaraguan Habano, and obviously the wrapper is a Nicaraguan Jalapa Miso. That's it. That's the rundown on the cigar.
It's a winner.
All right.
It's a winner.
All right. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great cigar. Folks, I smoked this last week. I think if you guys follow me on my Instagram, you would have saw my reaction to it. I was just blown away by it. And I think these guys are.
Oh, yeah.
Very impressed.
It's
very impressed.
It's great, right?
You're like,
Yeah.
you're breathing in.
I'm telling you right now, this might be on your Mount
Well-
Rushmore of 4 cigars you had recently that were the best.
I'll tell you
I
what.
mean, smoke so easy. It's like, and I'm blowing a ton of smoke out because I'm taking so much in
Yeah.
so easily.
Anytime you get a nice easy draw, incomparable.
It just makes it's a relaxation.
Yep.
The Melanio V from Oliva smokes like this. The CAO Cameroon smokes like this. It's when you smoke once you smoke that, it's like you had to go back.
Well, there's nothing worse than a bad draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming in
Nothing.
tomorrow, by the way.
What is?
the Cameroons?
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the same draw.
And,
But did you get them in the Robustos or the Toros?
I can't remember.
They both smoke the same. I smoked the Robusto yesterday. It's excellent. All righty. So today, Chuck always has these great conversation pieces. And last When did you guys come here together last week?
We had a special Friday surprise impromptu
That smoke, right?
pregame.
So I get texts from both of them. We're down here at the White Ash, but Chuck was starting to bring up Pink Floyd's The Wall versus The Final Cut.
Yep.
Where were you on that, Krelbar?
I don't know too many songs off the Final Cut, actually. You guys were naming off. I remember the names, but, I remember Fletcher Memorial Home and
Fletcher's amazing.
Not now, John.
and
The song The Final Cut, Two Suns in the Sunset, Gunner's Dream, Paranoid Eyes,
Post-war dream.
Post-War Dream.
Southampton Dock.
well,
Yeah.
I know I've heard a couple more because those used to play on preview all the time. Those videos.
That's what we were talking
And what's
about.
one that goes, Jesus, Jesus, down, 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 trying to get these ingrates out of them to shake. When I was your age, all the down, oh God, I wish I could remember the name of that tune. If you guys know the name of the song that I'm trying to sing there. Anyways, I would say I'm a much bigger fan of The Final Cut than I am The Wall. I think The Wall was a great album. My problem is it hasn't aged well for me. The Wall, you get, like, I love The Thin Ice. What's the opening title track? The Bow, Wow,
In the Flesh.
In the Flesh, I love. But then there's like far and few between where it gets to like, I like Goodbye Blue Sky, but I actually like when Def Leppard stole it and made it Hysteria.
Yeah.
I like it better as Hysteria. Just being honest. And then, Hey You was good. I mean, some of the hits were good, but like Vera, what has become of Vera Lynn? Anyone remember Vera Lynn? I remember her. She sucked.
It's a throwaway.
She was fucking terrible.
Oh.
She sang horrible war songs, and she blew.
The Wall, I don't want to say the problem with The Wall, because I agree it's a terrific record. The problem with The Wall, it borders on disco-y and it borders on whiny at times. I think it's very reflective about when it came out, and I think it was, I don't want to say some of it seemed forced, but I think some of it's overdone, where if they cut out maybe half of that and put the final cut in with that, you would have had a superior record that would have stood up a lot better.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think the final cut's right up there with the best stuff they did.
I did enjoy in the movie The Wall.
Yeah.
First of all, first, let me just say this: the movie The Wall features "How Can I?" The Empty Spaces,
Yeah.
the long version of Empty Spaces, which is a far superior song. The actual demo version of Young Lust is way better than the album version. It's a whole different melody in the verses. It's fantastic. But in the movie, when he's in the bathroom, what's his name?
Bob Geldof.
Geldof, and he's like, "Don't you remember me? Don't you think we should be closer?"
Yeah.
He's quoting a song from the Final Cut, which I love. The Final Cut for me is a much better album. I think Gilmore's playing on it is angry and poignant, and the solo to the Fletcher Memorial Home, the solo to the Final Cut, the sax solo Raphael Ravencroft plays on the outro of Two Suns in the Sunset.
That's the guy that played on, what's his name?
He played on Baker Street. Yeah, but he's the same guy that plays.
That's what I was saying to Krell, is I think, Gilmore almost steals the record, even though it's clearly a Roger Waters production from beginning to end. I think on the Final Cut, you could say Gilmore almost steals the record with the quality that he just delivers.
Okay, Greg, this guy's name is Chuck.
Hi,
this
Greg.
is Chuck. He was like the fella in the blue shirt is correct.
Thank you,
That's
Greg.
Chuck.
Fella. Easy fella.
Yeah.
Excellent. I agree, Greg. I think Gilmore gives Floyd that, for lack of a better term, fatness that they otherwise would lack. And I think he takes that record from, side 5 of The Wall and makes it its own standalone record, even though you could have combined them. That just my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think Gilmore steals the record. Every piece that you hear from him, from the vocals to the guitar, it's just what I mean? It's all good.
If you listen to the pros and cons of Hitchhiking, the Clapton and Sanborn tried to capture the Raphael Ravencroft Gilmore thing of the Final Cut, and to me it falls so flat. I think the songs are great, but the playing is so forgettable. I can't remember one solo to any song on Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking.
The song "Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking." That's it.
I don't remember
That's
the
only
solo.
song. That's the
Oh, I
only-
remember every song. I remember. When the soles of my running shoes gripping the tarmac like gunmetal, Running Shoes is a great tune.
It's good, but it's too poetry.
Oh, I think the songs
You know?
are good. I just don't think any solo or any guitar
No.
part is memorable.
No, it's
Now,
a poetry
I
record.
liked Chaos a lot, but Chaos has, I would say, it's absence of guitar.
Mm.
And I did think Jeff Beck did a great job on
Amused to
What
Death.
Amused to Death. Thank you. I was going to say What God Wants. I can't remember the name of the album. Amused to Death. Beck was, I mean, you could say what you want about Jeff Beck, but Jeff Beck really took to the music. I would say he paid homage to that style, whereas Clapton did not.
Well, Clapton plays like Clapton, no matter where he plays.
See, that's the other thing, Greg. You mentioned
Oh,
about
that's funny,
descending
Johnny.
into madness and insanity. I think there's two sides to the final cut, which I think The Wall doesn't have. The Wall is all Roger Waters' perspective on what's going on, whereas I think you kind of got Gilmore as like the rest of us who have to like continue to live life. Everybody gets junk dumped on them throughout their life. Everybody has a rotten story. Everybody's had trip ups. Everybody's had hardships, and I think Gilmore, especially the line "Got to get on with this." I mean that's. You can look at life one of two ways. It can paralyze you, or it can, you got to get on with this. And I can't talk highly enough about Gilmore in the final cut. I just can't.
I think it's a great record.
Yeah.
I was with you when you said it. I thought you were, when you asked me, I was like, he's going to give me so much shit because I like the final cut better.
No.
And you surprised me because when you said it, I'm like, he's not going to like that. I like the final
I
cut
tell you,
better.
that was bordering on a Krelbar story right there. He was getting into that territory.
I'll tell you what I was right about, guys. This smoke's fantastic.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It really is good.
Look how much I got down already.
It's just an effortless smoke. I don't know if you guys ever get the chance to find these cigars, if you guys are smokers. It's called the Cavalier Geneve Visa Halipo B11 Toro. The name is longer than you want to remember. Krelbar had a search party for it in the humidor last week. Couldn't find it, but we found it
Me
tonight.
and Krell Friday looked like what's her name from Romper Room with we couldn't read the
Yeah. I had to use my phone to magnify it.
So what it ended up being was, well, smoke that one. That says Blue Bonnet. Those are good.
Outstanding. So this
Everything's
would be
better
the
with Blue
room.
Bonnet on it.
This would be the room where if we did we would have to do it at the big table, and it would be probably a little further away. Although the mic, you could see the cable here, guys. The mic would definitely reach the table. But we would want to do the crew, the whole Tuesday night crew, from this room. It would have to be at night, though. It would be earlier at night, so we can get rid of the direct light, the natural light. The other thing Chuck brought up to me today was, and this might stir a lot of. This is going to stir the pot.
That's the
folks.
point. That's the point.
This is going to stir the pot.
You got to preface it though, saying I don't say the guy's bad. I'm not saying the guy's bad.
Oh, you say it then. You bring it up. It's your beat.
All right. My take is, again, don't hate me on this, guys. Okay. Mike Portnoy is sensational. Okay. However, I think Dream Theater with Portnoy is nothing more than ELP light. I think Portnoy's drums are all tuned too close together. And he comes across as like Neil Peart light or Carl Palmer light, and he's just too tippy-tappy with Dream Theater. Just my takes, your takes.
All right, so I say, when you say the tippy-tappy,
There's no difference with the drums.
and it has a lot to do with the way people mic drums these days, and everyone compresses the living shit out of them.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I kind of like that sound. I don't love it. Some bands are mic'd better than others. Obviously, I think Slipknot's drums are mic'd, sound better, and I think Mudvayne. I keep hearing Mudvayne. I'll bring up Mudvayne. I don't talk about Mudvayne a lot, but their song, and another band I really liked was Avenged Sevenfold. The drums are great in that band as well. Those, even though they're compressed to all hell, they still sound good. I don't think there's a band out there that has a drum sound better than the Deftones, mainly because I think Terry Date's the best producer out there of drums, and I think he really spends his time with that band on the drums. As far as Portnoy, I think he's a better drummer than Carl Palmer. I know you don't.
I don't.
I think he's a better drummer than Carl Palmer. I just think that the band itself, I'm not a Dream Theater fan, so I find them boring. Whatever record The Glass Prison is on, is that 6 Degrees of Turbulence?
No,
I think it's the opening song on that record. It's the only song I like by them. I bought that album. It's a double album, and I think there's one song on there I can listen to.
Yeah, it came out like 20 years ago.
No, not that old. Probably 15. It's like 2006, maybe.
No, I think
Earlier?
it was before that. I bet you say it's like 2003.
All right. Almost
Because
20 years.
Portnoy hasn't been with him in, 10 years or so anyway, right?
Well, they got GD. Is that his name?
Mike Mangina.
Again, I'm not killing Portnoy, but Portnoy's a little too music schooly for me.
You guys have an idea what we're going to do for number 2?
Maybe another one of these, buddies.
I'm telling you guys, this is a good smoke. Hard to explain to people. This smokes like the Oliva Milanio V's, which is a $20 cigar, but this is a $10 cigar. Really
talking about Portnoy, I mentioned earlier. I think he's a great drummer. I don't believe he's better than Carl Palmer. I have to disagree with you on that.
You think Carl Palmer's a better drummer?
Oh, yeah.
I do all day.
Really?
I do.
Well, if it came to double bass, Portnoy would kill him. But
Well, yeah, I definitely look. I will say, ELP were musical as hell. I don't like them as much as I liked Yes. I think Yes is. I think so much of the '70s bands, Rush, Yes, Gentle Giant. A lot of those bands were super musical. King Crimson, and then you got bands like today that do progressive, and it's way more of an exercise in timing and technique.
and Wheedly.
That's what I mean. It's music schooly.
Yeah, it's Wheedly.
It's
It's very music schooly, and it doesn't. It lacks emotion and
That's what I'm saying with Portnoy.
and harmony, and it lacks. I mean, but because Petrucci is a phenomenal. Is that his name, Petrucci?
Yeah.
Mike Petrucci. John Petrucci. Why am I thinking it wasn't? Oh, because Patitucci's the bass player for Chick Corea. Petrucci's a phenomenal guitar player. I wish that I've seen him live, and I never was more bored. He played his ass off, and then it was on the G3 thing with what's the bald guy's name? Satriani.
Voldemort.
Voldemort. Yeah.
From Harry Potter.
Petrucci played, and then what's his name came and swept the floor with them both. Paul Gilbert.
Oh, yeah, well, I love.
And Paul Gilbert wasn't even trying. He was playing like rock stuff. He wasn't even trying to like shred. He was just kind of doing his thing. And I'm like, this fucking guy smokes.
Yeah.
He's just fucking great. He's just something about.
Petrucci has no stage presence. That's the problem. Yeah, he plays great and stuff, but it's like
When he comes out, he's got that big beard, the over baggy clothes. I'm like, buddy, just drop the box by my front door.
Take a picture.
Looks like the UPS guy
Take
coming
a picture.
over.
No, he looks like
He's
the guy that takes the box off your porch pirate.
Right. So anyways, but he's a phenomenal player. But again, it doesn't do anything for me, whereas Paul Gilbert was just amazing.
Yeah.
But getting back to that, I'll tell you a guitar player I don't like. I'm not a huge Steve Howe fan. But what he played in Yes worked so fucking well. You listen to the opening thing of Close to the Edge. I don't even know if he knows what the hell he's playing. It sounds like they're all just free, like playing it whatever they want. It's nuts. But then I watched them do it live. I'm like, they're doing it again. Like this is
did it on purpose.
This is actually this is what they meant. It's funny to me. But again, I'd listen to Close to the Edge as much as I'm not a huge Steve Howe fan. I'd listen to Close to the Edge over any Dream Theater record.
See, I think it's the product. Like again, Portnoy, you can't knock anything. He's technically fantastic. He's on the money. I'm just saying the whole product of his doesn't seem to knock anybody out.
Well, he has very
I mean?
interesting drum solos.
You know what I mean?
He's great in the Winery Dogs.
Oh, yeah, I saw him down here at the Met. Met Cafe.
He's great in that band. I think he's a great drummer.
He is a great
I
drummer.
just don't think Dream Theater was a great band. And I
don't
know
either.
people that if you're a Dream Theater fan, look, this is an argument of taste. We're not gonna you can't win this argument. It's whether you like them or you don't. So I just never was a fan of Dream. I always found it boring. And the first song they ever did, it was very Queensryche, and they never had that sound again. Pull Me Under.
Yeah.
When I heard Pull Me Under, I'm like, oh, someone wants to be Queensryche.
But that's what I mean. It doesn't have anything to it.
Yeah.
It just.
Well, I mean, that album was probably more cohesive than all this stuff.
It's not as good as Rage for Order. Queensryche Rage for Order is a fantastic.
No, I mean
record.
more cohesive than their later
I'm
albums.
sure. They're all great players. The whole band is great.
Very rare though. Those super type groups work. Very rare.
Asia was that first Asia record.
Who played drums for Asia?
Was that Carl Palmer? No, I got to revisit Carl Palmer because "Time Again" could be the greatest tune ever.
I'm just saying, you listen to his, just pick anything from him, and it's the whole. You get the whole.
Wait, that
sound.
was Carl Palmer?
Yes.
He just went up a step. Yeah, he just went up a peg.
Nothing with Mike Portnoy.
He just went up a peg. I'm telling you, "Time Again" is the greatest tune, and I love the hits after on it. Bam, 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 bam. So great. That record's so good.
See, I think Asia was like the Honeymooners. They did a little bit, and then everything was top shelf, and then that was all. What do they got? 2
They
records?
blew their nut on one. No, they had more than 2 records, but they blew their nut on the first
Yeah,
album. They had like 4 or 5.
Really? I thought they only had 2.
No, they did Alpha, Astra.
Yeah.
I would say the first 2. After
I
that.
didn't know it was on the second one. The first one was the good one for me.
Yeah, second
Second
one had one song.
Don't Go,
No.
Don't Cry,
Don't Cry.
That was
Yeah.
Don't Go. I mixed it up with Touch and Go.
Oh.
That was
Yeah,
Emerson,
that's
Lake and
on,
Palmer.
Yeah.
Or was it Powell?
No, that was Touch and Go was.
Emerson,
That's
Lake and
Emerson
Powell.
Powell. That's Cozy
Was
Powell.
Yeah, it's 86.
That's Cozy Powell on that.
No.
That's Running with the Devil, I think, right?
Touch and Go was with Cozy Powell.
I
Yeah,
think so.
that was Emerson, Lake and Powell.
I thought that was the first one they did when Palmer came back.
It could be.
Touch and Go.
I thought it was hit with because I thought it was the Powell hit. I can see the album cover there.
I could be wrong though. I actually saw them, Emerson, Lake and Powell. Right.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. They were supposed to play Providence Civic Center, and there was lack of interest, so they moved
Really?
it to PPAC.
I'm surprised.
And Ingve was supposed to open, and he had to cancel because he broke his ankle in Worcester the night before jumping off a riser or something. Chasing a donut.
Chasing a donut. So yeah, but I think it's the product. You got to look at the overall product of the songs. You had said it before about a band, like how come all the songs are not there?
All right, let's say your Mount Rushmore of progressive rock bands.
Progressive rock bands? Well, ELP.
Okay.
Yes. King Crimson.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with this so far. Oh, geez, Genesis.
I mean, you could say Genesis. I mean, what do you consider Pink Floyd? What do you consider Genesis?
I don't think Pink Floyd's a progressive rock band.
What would you call them?
Psychedelic rock, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Slower. I don't know. Rock. But I mean, I think more. Genesis is definitely progressive rock up until about
70s. Yeah.
about 76. Whenever
I think your guy.
whenever Marriott left the band, Hackett. I mean, whenever Hackett left the band.
Yeah, right before, and then there were 3.
Yeah.
Well, I think your guy Bruford played with Genesis for a short time, didn't he?
No.
I think he did.
No. Phil Collins. Bruford played with Yes and
King Crimson.
King Crimson.
I think he sat in with Genesis for one record. I think early. I do.
No, because Phil Collins was the drummer up until the second album. He replaced some guy, John
Bell? No, Bell was a guitar player.
He replaced another drummer, but he was the drummer all the way till the end.
So let's see. Those 3, I mean, that last spot, you kind of got, like, because those 3 are so strong, I think that
I think if they got Rush.
If you consider Rush progressive.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, Feel of the Kings, Hemispheres, 2112, those are prog albums. Caress of Steel is definitely a prog album.
As soon as they got the 80s.
His first album's not. The first album's a Zeppelin record.
If you're going to consider Rush progressive, then yeah, you got to put Rush there. You absolutely have to put Rush there.
Rush might be my number 1.
Yeah, if you're going to consider them progressive, I'd put them ahead of all those groups.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think there were other bands. There were bands like Camel. There was Giant. Gentle Giant.
What was it? Echoes? Was that song from Camel?
Camel had a ton of records. Ooh, Rage for Order versus Mindcrime. To me, it's not even a question. It would be Rage for Order versus Warning. I think Mindcrime, in my opinion, is worse than The Wall.
Well, I like some songs off of Mindcrime, not all of them.
Barry.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 songs on the record. The song of Mindcrime that I liked,
Barry.
No more nightmares. Is that I Don't Believe in Love? I've been yeah. Anyways, I think Rage is a much better album. It's a single album that's from Walk in the Shadows all the way till I Will Remember. The last 15 minutes, yeah, that's when it does all the pop songs, right? Like I Don't Believe in Love. That's the end of the album. What else is on? What else is in the Ben? What's
Eyes of a Stranger.
Eyes of a. That's what I was. Eyes of it. And I raise my head and stare into the eyes of a stranger. Yeah, a lot of that record though for me is like so. I wish we were Pink Floyd type of. And then when they did Silent Lucidity on the next record, it was like. With the noises like from the wall on it, I'm like, so. But Mindcrime, Rage for Order for me. Screaming in Digital, I Dream in Infrared, the Noy Regal, London. It was November 4th when I first held your hand. I love it. To me, Rage for Order was the record. Mindcrime was a letdown for me. It really was. However, Warning is a great album. And M156, Roads to Madness, Take Hold of the Flame.
I like that tour, Rage for Order. They opened for Ozzy.
Oh, they did?
They replaced Metallica.
So in '84, I went to go see I went to go see them. I went to see them before the Warning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so what's that, like 87?
I went to see him perform the Warning at the living room.
Oh, really?
It got snowed out, canceled.
Oh,
I was so pissed. Nobody I knew the band, and I was like, Queensryche's playing the Warning at
the living room. Yeah.
I was.
Have you ever been to the living room?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah, the fishbowl.
Yeah.
Saw Mr. Big there.
I'm the one who wants.
Yeah.
Now let me grab Jenna and see if she'll get us some more waters.
So let me ask you now. So getting back to Rush as progressive, what would you? I mean, I get like, I don't know.
Camera Eyes a 10-minute song.
Yeah. All this stuff's long, but like if you listen to stuff
song.
like YYZ or something, that's
a short progressive song. But I mean, I think they don't follow a pop format.
No.
And they definitely have a progressive. See, but you're pulling out. What was the album before that? Permanent Waves.
Yeah.
Permanent Waves is probably the last of the heavy progressive album.
Yeah. Because
you had 6 songs on the album, right? You had
Free Will.
Spirit of the Radio, Free Will, Jacob's Ladder, Entre Nous, Different Strings, and Natural Science.
That's my favorite Rush song.
Oh, it is? Yeah. I think Natural Science is a great song. But then the next album is a little bit more poppy, which I think is their perfect album. I think Moving Pictures is a perfect album.
Moving Pictures is fantastic.
That's a great question. It was perfect albums.
Perfect albums?
How hard is it to find a perfect album?
Well, I think we do that by year.
Well,
a perfect album?
I always bring up the Cars first album.
You think that's a perfect album?
Yeah.
Let me think about that.
Well, except for Don't Just Stop, it's kind of
that can take away from perfect. I'm just saying it's not perfect then.
Well, there is no perfect album.
There is.
It's a couple.
Not maybe the Cars. I think Candio could be a perfect album.
Candio.
What's the bad song on Candio?
Run through what's the list.
Night Spots might be the weak song, but I like it.
So I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, could you say Paranoid by Sabbath's perfect?
War Pigs.
There's a lot of goodies on there, bud.
Paranoid, Iron Man, Planet Caravan.
Yeah.
Wow,
what's that?
Paranoid by Sabbath.
Paranoid by Sabbath, perfect album. Let me see. Off the top of my head, I'd say absolutely, but I just have to think now. So we got War Pigs, Luke's Wall, same song. Planet Caravan,
Rat Salad.
That's side 2. Hold on, I'm still on side 1. What's the last song on side 1 after Planet Caravan, Paranoid? What's after that?
I think Iron Man's the last
Iron
song.
Man. No, Iron Man's the first song on side 2, isn't it? Let's go. Iron Man, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad.
Yeah.
Jack the Stripper, Fairies Wear Boots. Perfect album. There's not a bad song on it. I'll tell you right now, what most people say is the worst song on that album, Planet Caravan, is my favorite song on the album.
It's my favorite song. Record, yeah.
My favorite song on that record.
Back in Black may be a perfect album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Rush is on Rushmore. All right, let's go to. So that's a perfect. Now, there's a bunch of perfect albums that you guys may not know. Like, obviously, clearly everyone knows. For me, the Blue Nile Hats is a perfect album. 7 songs. Every song is fucking joy, pure joy to me. I would say. So Iron Maiden. My favorite Iron Maiden album is Peace of Mind.
Peace of Mind's their best
Not
record.
a perfect album.
No.
Quest for Fire sucks. Number of the Beast, perfect album.
Pretty close.
What's the worst song?
I'll tell you what, Killers is pretty close.
Great.
Killers is pretty close.
Great. I don't know there's a bad song on Killers.
I mean, you'd have to think.
I don't know that there is one. Is Innocent Exile on Killers?
I'm not sure.
I'm actually not too familiar with this, but that was a Diano.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great album. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, someone did have sparkling?
I did. I'll trade you.
I felt yours up too high.
Thank you.
No problem.
Jenny, you want to pop on and say hello to all the folks?
Hi.
Everybody, this is Jenna. Jenna works here. Hi.
Where am I?
You're right here.
Hi. Hello, Dave's people.
You're one of Dave's people.
I am. Dave's one of my favorite people.
Oh.
If you want a good conversation, you come to this guy right here.
Oh, thank you very
For
much.
sure.
For sure.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
What was
For
funny was
sure,
when Carl
totally.
came the other day and you were like, Dave, how do you know Carl?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is how I know this place.
Right? I had no idea, though. I'm
There
like,
was so-
I know Carl, I know you separately. And that's
So
great.
funny.
If you
That's
smoke
how
cigars,
the cigar
yeah.
community is, though.
Yeah.
Everybody comes as individuals, and then you see them all just get together.
You're right.
And
If you smoke
right.
Carl anywhere in the New England area, if you
Yeah.
smoke cigars
In the Northeast, yeah.
you know Carl.
How about the entire Joe's Garage, Frank Zappa?
No.
I can listen to that beginning to him.
Is it
Lucille.
perfect though?
Lucille's messed up my mind.
Why does it hurt when I pee?
Why does it?
It's silly.
Well, it is
But
kind
it's
like
part
a
of the
rock
story.
opera.
It's part of the story, but I wouldn't consider that a perfect album. Whereas Roxy and Elsewhere I like a lot. I don't know if that's perfect. That's what Cheapness is on that. What's the album with the Grand Waz? I mean, not the Grand Wazoo's a great album. But what's the album with Cosmic Debris?
Oh, that's Apostrophe.
That's a great album.
How about Zeppelin 1?
Here's my problem with Zeppelin. I think maybe every album's a perfect album.
I wouldn't say everyone.
I can't name a bad song on an album.
Zeppelin 3 is a little weak.
Oh, come
It's a little
on.
weak.
No.
Was it?
You could say Physical Graffiti.
Communication Breakdown. I've never been a fan of.
Really?
Yeah.
My favorite song on one.
I would say one's their best record over that of Physical Graffiti.
I'd say Physical's my favorite.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But I would say 3 is up there for me.
Is it?
It is.
It's a little too Kermit the Froggy for me. You know what I mean?
Since I've been loving you, Bronniar Stomp.
Yeah, see, that one loses me.
Oh,
That
come
one
on.
loses me.
What's the one that
Out on the Tiles is excellent.
Out on the
Immigrant
Tiles.
Song's excellent.
Immigrant
Since
Song.
I've been loving you is excellent. Other than that,
No, yes. The weak song on the album is Celebration Day.
yeah, that's weak.
I always,
That one I don't
I always
care
wanted to play Out on the Tiles in my bands, and we never play it.
Hugh Caldwell saying "Left Overture from Kansas" is a perfect album. I love "Song for America." That album. I love a lot of Kansas stuff. To me, I think that's a band that is so underrated because in the '70s, and they're progressive.
Yep.
They're definitely in my
Yeah,
Mount Rushmore.
I was just going to say.
Thank you, Hugh, for bringing that up. So right now in my Mount Rushmore of progressive, I have just 3. I have Rush, I have Kansas, and I have Yes. The question is, does ELP fit the number 4?
ELP or King Crimson, both, bud.
And I'm
Kansas.
a bigger King. No, not before Kansas.
I
for
think
me.
so. I think so.
Yeah, I do like King Crimson better than ELP though. I do.
I like them both.
I know. I just like how King Crimson could just write this music that was so off, but yet it had melody.
The problem with King Crimson is there's so many variants of the band. They're like Steely Dan at a point. Because you got Greg Lake singing on the first album. Then you got John Wetton, I think after the third and fourth and fifth. And then you got the years, my favorite years, which is the four.
And Greg Lake sang on the
with
first album.
Adrian Belew. Greg Lake, that's what I said.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, no, Greg Lake sang the first record. Yeah. Then John Wetton replaced him. I think he may have sang on the second one too, but Wetton came in. And then Adrian Belew years, when it's just a four-piece band, when it's Adrian Belew.
Pat Mastelletto from Mr. Mister.
Doing what? No, he wasn't in the band then.
Was it?
Not the four album. When it was the four, it was Tony Levin, Adrian Belew. What's the main guy? I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, Robert Fripp.
Robert Fripp and Bill Bruford.
I'll tell you what might be a perfect album. Might be a perfect album. Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic. There's not too many big sisters on that.
I have to say, it's my least favorite of the first four Aerosmith.
Really? See, it's my favorite. It's got Round and Round.
Great song.
It's got Toys in the Attic. It's
Not a
got
great
Sweet
song.
Emotion.
Good
It's
song.
got Walk This Way, I believe.
No More, No More.
No More, No
Walk
More's
This
on
Way
there.
I could do without.
What's
Yeah, but
Chipping
those are-
Away on?
Chip
Away's in their first one, I think.
No, Chip Away the Stone?
Yeah.
Not on any album.
Really? I thought it was in the first.
Only recorded live on the live album, and then they put it out on the greatest hits in the 80s.
I
Not
will
the
say-
first greatest hits, but Gems. It came out on Gems.
I do not like Aerosmith from '86 and beyond.
No,
Like,
I can't. After 1981, they're dead to me.
Yeah, well,
85.
Done with Mirrors was a disaster.
85. That's 85. Yeah, no, 80. So the first album I love. I don't think there's a bad song on the first album. The worst song might be Walking the Dog.
That's a good song, though.
But that's why I think it's a great album. The second album, though, Get Your Wings, I love everything. Everything on that album. SOS, I think SOS is the best song on that album. Woman of the what's Woman of the World? That's that one album. Spaced in Time. But it has Same Old Song and Dance, which doesn't even have, it's Dick Wagner on guitar. And then Dick Wagner and Steve Hunter play on the big one there, Train Kept a Rolling.
Yeah.
To me, the best Aerosmith album is Rocks.
Oh, okay.
The fourth album, the one after.
You can't kill
Back
it.
in the Saddle.
Yeah.
Back in the Saddle, Last Child. But then songs like Rats Are in the Cellar.
Draw the Line, I think.
Licking the Promise. No, Draw the Line's the next album.
Is it?
Draw the Line, yeah. Yeah, Draw the Line and Draw the Line and Sight for Sore Eyes. Andrew Collins likes Dude Looks Like a Lady. PMFM from Italy, great prog band. I don't know that band here.
No. I'm still trying to figure out perfect albums, but
Back in Black.
Back in Black,
Perfect.
there's not a loser on it.
Even the songs that you might think, like Shake a Leg, I fucking love.
They're great.
Giving the Dog a Bone, I love.
Oh, that's one of my. Well, you said Deep Tracks from them. That was one of my favorites.
Let me put my love into
Yeah.
you. Traveling on a free flight. Fucking love it. Love it.
But I know you're not huge with them.
Who? AC/DC?
No. I was just saying Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Can't listen to him.
That record's as good as you're going to get, bud.
Not for me.
I think
There's
not a loser on it.
There's not a winner.
Oh,
The only song I like
Night
on that
Train's
album
excellent.
is Mr. Brownstone.
Night Train's
I like
excellent.
It's So Easy.
It's so easy.
They just play the shit so much. It turns my.
Well, yeah, they
Is
killed.
My Michelle on that record?
Yep.
I fucking hate
But
that
they
song.
killed all those songs. But what I'm saying is, if you look at it,
I never liked Welcome to the Jungle either.
oh, I love
From the
that.
very beginning, I never liked it.
I love that.
This is Chrissy from.
Price is Right doesn't agree with us.
The price is wrong, bitch.
I'll tell you what a perfect album might be. Too Blessed Hell Ride from Black Label Society.
Still born.
It's got a lot of good
I
stuff.
fucking love that
on it,
album.
bud.
Stoned and drunk and
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that record.
Blessed Hell Ride might be perfect.
I actually like Mafia a lot too.
You brought up Queen too. My favorite Queen album. Barry Fella's Masterstroke,
Mm.
March of Black Queen.
Here comes
Olga
the Black
Battle.
Queen marching, sing
Yeah.
fire.
That's my favorite Queen album. And you know what? I like everything on there.
Yeah, that's a tough one to beat.
But beyond that, I don't think Queen had another perfect album though. There was always weak spots
I
on
mean,
it.
the perfect album is tough to. We don't skip. We don't love everything.
I know Dave will disagree with me, but I'm not a fan of Who Needs You on
You
Disney
call me
World.
half past 6.
Yeah.
I come at 7. Is that same one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen 2 is fantastic. However, I think, if I'm being honest, over time, I think Sheer Heart Attack's a better album.
Yeah, we got into this discussion.
I do think Sheer Heart Attack is. Let me get rid of my band.
Bring
Guys,
back-
how are we enjoying
bring
the
back-
cigar?
Excellent.
It's up there, right?
It's fantastic. It gets better and better. It
I
gets
told you, I knew it was
better
gonna be,
and better.
I knew
and
it'd be
better.
heavy for you, but the
I
draw
love
is
it.
so smooth.
Weak song on Sheer Heart Attack is Bring Back Leroy Brown.
I love that. You don't like that?
I like it, but it's.
Oh, I love it. It shows that.
Well, Crazy Racers were wrong.
It shows.
Twice.
Jim, you're wrong, bitch.
No, it shows that old timey thing.
Yeah.
Bring
Oh, I
back,
thought it was cool.
Bring back. You got to bring back Leroy Brown. Yeah, yeah. It's also but Seaside Rendezvous. They do that on every album. That type of
Well,
song.
that was on
That's on.
Night at the Opera.
Yeah, the album after. But I'm saying they do that every record. Sorry, John Wetton versus Greg Lake.
Greg Lake.
Both great.
Greg Lake has a better range. It's John Wetton sounds like he strains on high notes.
Hold on a second.
Hey,
Let's see.
Ben.
Ben Deo dissing on the host and co-host there.
Just because I'm new. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, get to know him better. You'll disagree with him more.
that's why it tastes this. All right. Well, Greg says that Rocks is the right answer, so he agrees with me. Listen, it's not even about. I wouldn't care if anyone goes against what I like because that's the whole enjoyment of discussing taste. It's hearing people disagree or like Krelbar saying that about Bring Back Leroy Brown. To me, it shows off that the band can do that old timey. What do you call that kind? I guess it's just old timey, right?
Tin Pan Alley.
Yeah, it's
Stuff.
but that's not easy to play on guitar.
No,
and he's
it's
fantastic.
This little
at it.
ukulele.
You know what song? I love the song he sings on that. I know she makes.
Stormtrooper
No,
and
she.
Stilettos.
Oh yeah, she makes me. Yeah, she makes. And my favorite song on the album is the last song. It's so easy.
Yeah.
I gotta try it. So
Lap of the
risky.
Gods. Yeah.
Revisited.
Flood warning. Surprise.
As I'm looking at a screen.
Surprise.
Oh yeah. There goes people in a canoe right by the street here.
Well, I think that forest fire risk has gone down quite a bit now.
I think so it's funny with Queen because I think Queen 2 is a near perfect album. I think Sheer Heart Attack is probably a near perfect. What's Dear Friend on?
Oh yeah.
Is that-
Oh, dear
Is that 2 or is that Sheer Heart Attack?
that's Sheer Heart.
Oh right, Nevermore is the soft one on.
Yeah.
There's no loving in my life anymore. Oh, 2 beautiful songs. I mean, they were in such a zone, and then I thought Prophet song was too long.
Oh, people, can you hear me?
And Now I'm Here.
Now
There's nothing worse than Queen doing it live and
Yeah,
making it a
because
40-minute
it's
song.
Oh,
But I think Night at the Opera is a perfect album.
Oh yeah, you like that because I thought you did.
No, Night at the Opera. I'm sorry. Day at the Races.
Yeah, we talked about how his voice is.
The best voice, but Millionaire Waltz, You Take My Breath Away, Tie Your Mother Down. What else is on that album?
Good old fashioned.
Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy.
Somebody to love.
It's You and I.
Yep.
Just You and I. And Teo Tariot. That album's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
If there's a Roger Taylor song on the album, it's the weak one.
Yeah, you know what? Over the years, Tie Your Mother Down kind of breaks on me because it's overplayed.
Terribly overplayed, but it's still a good rock song.
Yeah.
And then News of the World is very good. Jazz is okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, Fun It, the Roger Taylor song.
The Roger Taylor songs always bring a record down. But that whole intro in that album, and it Let Me Entertain You into Jealousy, 7 Days is a fantastic breaking. And
Dead on Time.
Mustafa, Dead on Time. Towards the end of the album.
You say Jealousy?
And then Don't Stop Me Now is fantastic. And then I think the game is they left on a bang. I think besides the fucking record being produced by Reinhold Mack, I just think the sound of everything on that record is perfect.
Yeah.
There's a couple of
Don't
songs
Try
like
Suicide is
silly.
silly.
The weak song on the album, which makes it not a perfect album, but
Save Me's great.
Save Me's brilliant. And Sail Away, Sweet Sister.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And also
the bridge in that song when because that song is sung by Brian May.
Dragon Attack is
Dragon
is a Roger Taylor song.
No.
Yeah.
Did he write it?
I'm pretty sure
He doesn't sing it.
He doesn't sing it.
No, but that's what I'm talking about when his songs he sings.
Oh, okay, cool.
Take me to the room where the reds are red. Take me out. If you listen to Dragon Attack, you will hear the laydown of The Stroke by Billy Squier, because they basically, whatever Reinhold Mack recorded those drums, he's like, we're doing that sound.
Do you like Fight from the Inside on Use It All?
No. That's the
Sounds
that's
like
the
Fat
Roger
Albert
Taylor.
at the beginning. It's like
I love Get Down, Make Love.
Yeah.
And I hate Sheer Heart Attack.
You got a jumper. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. And I hate Sheer Heart Attack. Sheer Heart Attack was them trying to show the Sex Pistols that anyone can do a punk song. Oh, still going.
It's a quality cigar.
Rumors is a perfect album, no question.
Fleetwood Mac?
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of the weakest song on the album. Might be Oh Daddy, the Christy McVie song.
But it's still not bad.
No, it's good.
And it's still not bad.
Is that the one that goes, For You? What the hell's the name of that song? It's not. It's Songbird.
Oh, okay.
For You. Yeah, it's a perfect. It's so good, Rumors. That's 77. If you're going to say 1977, not only is Rumors a perfect album, it's not even the best perfect album of the year.
Well, it's
77?
Steely Dan Asia.
That's right. That came out that, yeah.
That album has it beat by a mile.
That beats a lot of stuff by a mile.
Black Cow, Deacon Blues, Peg, Josie, I Got the News, Home at Last. It's hard to fucking beat that record. And here goes a fire truck.
Yeah.
Someone lit a fire in this rain.
I don't know how.
There's a brush fire.
Yeah.
2 fire trucks.
So I don't know. So Andrew says, Charlie says physical graffiti.
Agreed.
Yep.
I agree.
Listen, I think that and Zeppelin one of their 2 best records.
The thing about physical graffiti is it's an outtakes album. It's like, to me, it's like the album by the Stones, Tattoo You, where they had a few new songs and then they brought Slave back, they brought Waiting on a Friend back, Worried About You back, which is fine, but we consider it a new album because House of the Holy was from the House of the Holy sessions.
Yes.
I believe they had 6 songs for the album, and it was over 50 minutes. And so they were like, we can't put out a single album. It has to be a double. So then they figured they would finish the songs that they had recorded for the other records that didn't make the albums. It's my favorite Zeppelin album by far. I mean,
I think it's them at their best.
It absolutely is. It's the greatest album. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, if you could separate the albums, I'd say side 3 and 4, disc 2 or album 2 is so fucking superior. Just because, although In My Time of Dying is probably one of my favorite Zeppelin tunes. My
10
favorite.
Years Gone is sensational.
That's on the one I'm talking about.
The Rover is the second song of the record. It's sensational.
The Rover.
Wanton song.
Your Wonton song, a Wanton song.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all Cashmere. Cashmere's
Cashmere's great. Yeah, what's the first song, though? Oh, Custard Pie. And I love Brawny. The acoustic
whole,
piece in C6 tuning.
The whole the whole record is fantastic, just like Zeppelin 1. There's not a song, there's not a minute of that record you're skipping.
Greg is asking me why I like the Blue Nile. So the Blue Nile album, it's a very ethereal record, but it's like a working man's album, the life of a poor schlub going through life. And it's like electronica, and it's just things that bring you down in life. It's such a good record. Like, it's such an emotional record. To me, if a record can make you think, and that record by the Blue Nile, Let's Go Out Tonight, when he's just like, baby, baby, let's go out tonight. There's a depressing part of it. There's something about it where it's like everything about that record it brings you down. You feel what the singer's feeling. And to me, if an album takes you someplace, you go. Like, very much like you're talking about Physical Graffiti, side 3, the first song, In the Light. When you're in that whole, that keyboard thing starts off, and then when he goes, and if, and the harmony voice, he's doing the double voice, you feel that you can't go on. I mean, it's like, fuck you, man. It's so good. So good.
I'm surprised you haven't brought up Peter Gabriel So yet. That's a
perfect album. Peter Gabriel So, 100%. Worst song on the album is probably Excellent Birds, and it's fantastic. Laurie Anderson did a version of it by herself before that. She did it in 84. Not as good. I will say this. This cigar's fucking good.
It's
Right?
wicked good. It's wicked good. Very good. Very good.
It is
Very good.
It doesn't fight you at all.
Here's one for you. How about Priest Screaming for Vengeance?
There's one song on there Dave doesn't like.
What, for me?
No.
I think that's a perfect record. Even though I like
British Steel
better,
British
Steel's not a perfect record.
Yeah.
I like it better, but Screaming, there isn't a bad song on Feet.
What's Bloodstone on? Is that on Screaming for Vengeance?
That's my favorite Priest song on there.
Is it? Oh, the Hellion and Bloodstone?
Hellion Electric Eye.
Hellion Electric Eye.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Riding like the wind, or Riding on the Wind. Fantastic.
Breaking like the wind.
Bloodstone, Fever, Pleasure and Pain, Screaming for Vengeance. You Got Another Thing Coming. There's another song. I have to think of what it is. Take These Chains.
Or is that on British Steel?
No. Take These Chains is on Screaming. And then Devil's Child. Devil's Child might be the gayest song ever.
I always thought it sounded a little like AC/DC.
Well, because it's
Ram It Down might be the gayest.
no, but I'm saying on Screaming. He's
Johnny
like,
B. Good.
but when he's like, eat my diamonds, and he's like, feast your eyes on a whole lot of sin. I'm like, what am I looking at, a Mapplethorpe painting? Oh no, you're so damn wicked. You got me by the throat. I'm just like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to help him by the throat. And call Robert Mapplethorpe. He wants to take some photos.
Yeah. Get the bullwhip.
Yeah. Even still, I think that's there's no weak ones on there. I don't think.
No, it's a great record. And I think side 1 of Point of Entry, I've said it 100 times, is a perfect side. Side 2, they let that album, I don't know who produced that record. Well, it's that Tom Allom guy. Tom Allom. Allom, how did I pronounce his name? I heard on the radio the other day they pronounced it Allom, because I guess he produced Y&T, Don't Stop Run. You better keep on run, don't stop run. I love that fucking song. I guess he produced that record. Y&T, there's a band not a lot of people talk about, but Dave Meniketti was fucking awesome. He could sing and play his ass off, and the songs are good. Every Y&T song I hear on the radio, I'm like, man, I fucking love this. Mean Streak's great. But the house isn't big enough. It's fucking great. Summertime Girls.
Yeah, I remember when that came out.
But I'm hearing, like, because I listen to, like, Iron Maiden radio on Sirius, which is like Pandora. and they're playing a lot of Y&T deep cuts, and I'm like, man, everything. And same with the other band out of Canada, April Wine.
Mm.
Yeah, every song is good.
Yeah.
Every song, I'm like, man, these guys were good and poppy. Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, perfect album, absolutely. Thriller, no.
Mm.
Off the Wall, yes. Now, somebody could say Thriller no, and Thriller they may like better. I'd be okay with that. I don't like it better. I think Off the Wall is his best album.
I think it is.
But,
Is it warm in here?
A touch.
Yeah.
A touch.
It does.
it seems like a touch. Touch too much. What's that? Highway to Hell could be a perfect album.
Ooh.
I also think Powerage is a perfect album. So, well, Up to My Neck and You might not be the best. You guys smoked this thing super fast.
Oh yeah. Went down.
You're not too far behind, bro.
I'm not even into the gold leaf.
Yeah, I'm into gold.
Yeah, I peeled mine by mistake to gold.
Yeah, it's all right.
Corner of it.
It's good though,
Still
isn't
good. Yeah, I'm smoking it right down there, bud. It's real goody.
it? I'm telling you.
Real, very good selection.
Yeah.
Very good selection.
There's no. It's the lightest heavy cigar.
What I like is that you don't get all that like residue at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't get gummy and burny and all that. I don't like that.
Yeah, because it's not like overly. I don't know how they. Number one, I don't know how they roll this cigar, and number two, why doesn't everybody roll it like this? Have you guys tried the Milano V's?
Yeah.
Night.
It's the same type of smooth.
I think this is better. I personally, I think it's better than. Listen, you can't knock them on review at all.
Oh, but it's the same. To me, it's the same. I had it yesterday. It's the same draw. It's like, but yesterday or the day before, it's the same type of draw where I'm like, this thing's drawing the cigar for me. I'm not even doing anything. I'm not even doing. I mean, this is like, and the CAO anniversary of Cameroon is the same. To me, and that's a lighter, medium body cigar. You would like that one. Are you getting it tomorrow?
Yeah. Yep.
You're gonna love it because it's the same draw.
Hopefully it's not raining tomorrow when I get home from work. Yeah.
Oh, so you can smoke? No, it won't
Yeah.
smoke. It's not gonna rain.
Oh,
Just today was supposed to be the only day.
Well, you like that blue bonnet too.
Oh yeah.
That was
Blue Bonnet's good. It's not as good as a statement though.
no, but it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's a good
Find
cigar.
that I like the smaller ring cigars for some reason. It's like
You do?
Yeah.
I like them bigger now.
Mm.
This is like, what is this, a 54, 52? This is perfect.
Whatever it is, it's good.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think that box press adds to the enjoyment of the cigar.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh, this is box press too.
Yeah, it's
So
kind
is
of
that CAO
oh okay.
and the Toro, if you got the Toro. But the Robustos, I think the Robustos are box
I
press
think I
too.
got Toro. Oh, the other one I got was the La Roma de Cuba. That you.
Oh, I love that cigar. You like that one too.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That one let in the humidor a week and the draw will be very good. It won't be like this. This draw is like I said, this is unnatural. There's something about the draw in this cigar. where
You're
it's
right.
like-
Though. I think the press opens it.
Something does.
Something. Yeah, it's just
But it makes
real
it,
good.
it makes it so it's just fucking light. It's like not light in flavor though. We're talking about
No,
this
you
is
got a ton of flavor.
this is a bold cigar. This is not for the weak at heart, but it's definitely the easiest heavy cigar you're gonna smoke.
It's just great. It's just great. I love it. I love it. Excellent recommendation.
Are you gonna go for a second one of this? That's ballsy.
Yes, I am. I mean, if you like a cigar that much, and I've never had one, so
Yeah.
I'll do the double dip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's something about this cigar. It's just yeah. Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. I keep seeing that from Andrew Collins in the chat. It's songs like Working Day and Night, Get on the Floor. I love that record. There's something about the song Working Day and Night where it's 3 chords, the bass grooves, the drum locks in, and you're just like, all right, I'm in. What do we got? And then he starts singing, and he's like, it's fucking Michael Jackson at his best, at his peak. You know?
See, that's what it is. They didn't ruin him yet.
There's a Jackson, well, he ruined himself. There's a Jackson song that was written by Gamble and Huff. what the hell's his name? Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. They wrote the song called "Show Me the Way to Go." If you guys get a chance, you got to hear this song. How Al B. Shore wrote "Night and Day." Remember that song "Night and Day" by Al B. Shore? How he wrote that and didn't get sued is beyond me. It's the same fucking song.
You get a lot of that though.
But it's like, how the hell did Gamble and they don't give Gamble and Huff?
I have to excuse myself.
Go ahead, give me a thing. When fucking Rolling Stone magazine puts that fucking schlep Bob Dylan at number 1, when Gamble and Huff wrote some of the greatest
I left
songs.
at just the right time. He's talking about Dylan.
When Gamble and Huff wrote the greatest fucking. Are you a Dylan fan?
I mean, I don't have too much of his stuff. I don't think I got any of his stuff.
Nobody does. He sucks, but somehow Rolling Stone magazine keeps putting this motherfucker at the
Rolling
best.
Stone, bud.
It's such a hipster douchebag magazine. He's a better writer than McCartney or Lennon. On what planet?
No.
On what planet? No. And then people will argue and be like, well, like a Rolling Stone's a good song. That's a good song.
Well,
McCartney wrote more songs than the guy has that you know in your top of your head.
I mean,
by the time he did fucking Hard Day's Night, the third Beatles album, McCartney had better songs.
yeah. I mean, listen, Dylan's got some goodies, as long as he's not singing them.
It's a great song, isn't it? Show me the way to go. Because it goes to that major. It's got a minor feel and then goes to the major chord. And it's the same thing in Let Me Tell You, Dun, dun, Night and Day. It's the same fucking song by Al B. Shore. But Show Me the Way to Go is fantastic. I love the Jacksons. Around the time when... So what happened with the Jacksons was you had the Jackson 5. And I think the last record they did is the Jackson 5. The big hit was She's a dancing machine.
Starting to get disco-y, right?
Well, and what happened was they were jumping record labels. They were getting off Motown and they were going to Columbia.
It's at around 78, I think.
No, it's earlier, 76 or 77. And what happened was Jermaine was married to one of the Gordies. So he can't leave. He can't screw the record company. He can't go, hey, listen, I'm married to your daughter, but I'm going to Columbia. So the Jacksons were the Jackson 5 without Jermaine. Bring in Randy, which was he was the youngest. His real name was Steven, but he goes by Randy. Bring in Randy, and then they had all those other. And then Randy was like 14 at the time.
No kidding, I didn't know.
And they brought him in, and they did. There was a song by Michael Jackson, not Michael Jackson from the Jacksons. A guy in Europe named Michael Jackson, who wrote a song called "Blame It on the Boogie." And Joe Jackson from the Jacksons heard it.
Yeah, and he loved it.
And he's like, you kids are doing this song. And they worked it out and got that song. And that's how the Jacksons did it. So it's funny because it's written by Michael Jackson, but not.
Yeah, but not Michael Jackson.
Not Michael Jackson.
Right.
Just blame it on the sunshine. Blame it on the moonlight. Blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Bon Scott versus Brian
Johnson.
Oh, he's got a stogie with us. All right, excellent. So Brian Johnson versus Bon Scott is a very interesting argument because I think at one time in my life I've been on both sides of the argument. And for right now in my life, I have to go by, if I had to live with 3 albums from AC/DC, would I live with 3 Brian Johnson albums or 3 Bon Scott records?
I'd say 2 and 1.
But but he can't. You have to take one.
You got to take 3 or 3?
3 and 3. Who would you take? I have to take Brian Johnson because I think Back in Black.
Yeah, that you can't argue Back in Black. Yeah.
My second pick would be Flick of the Switch. I think is the most underrated album by AC/DC. And then I would have to take For Those About to Rock because even though it's Back in Black light, it's still a fantastic record. His voice was fucking great. And just the fucking opening riff of For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, that
Forget about Flying the Wall.
Fly on the Wall, I wasn't big on that record, although I liked Danger on that album. I liked Sink the Pink.
Shake Your Foundations is good.
No, Shake.
Yeah.
Is that on that album?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. Shake Your Foundation is probably the best song on that album.
I agree.
Yeah.
Danger's excellent.
Oh, Shake Your Foundation.
Yeah.
Shake Your Foundations to me sounds like it should have been on Flick of the Switch. Bedlam and Bedlam. I love that.
I mean, Bon Scott, you can't really knock him either.
Great. my 3 Bon Scott albums would be, now I can't take live albums because that's not part of it. Obviously Highway to Hell.
Yep.
Obviously Powerage, but then I'm stuck. But maybe, what's the album? And then the ninth, what's that one? And then Dirty Deeds. High Voltage to me is a hit or miss album. I think Let There Be Rock, I do not like that album. I think most of it's not good. Some of it's good. But again, if you took a compilation, the If You Want Blood album is so fucking great.
Yeah.
Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be,
Yeah.
Bad Boy Boogie.
You got to put If You Want Blood, You Got It on there, I think. For Bon Scott, I would say If You Want Blood, You Got It.
Okay, so you can get the, Greg, if you order the CAO, I don't know if you can order the Anniversaire because they don't have it at Famous. Order from, I order from Famous, but order from CI and order, no, not CI, go to Thompson Cigar. You can get the CAO, the Anniversaire Cameroon, but you could also get the Oliva V, Milanio. It has to be the V Milanio. It's box pressed, and it is a fucking good smoke. If you guys can find this online, this is called the Cavalier Geneve, and it's the B11 VJ Toro. VJ is the Visa Jalipo. The name is ridiculous, but it's so good. And like I said, I was texting these guys and they had a hard time. It was like,
because you couldn't read the label. But once you see them now that you know what it is, it's get your hands on one, Greg. Get your hands on one.
It's so good. It is good, isn't
it's
it?
It's wicked good. It's wicked. I'm waiting for Krell to come back. I'm going to grab it.
Are you going to grab another one?
Yep.
I'm trying to think if I'm going to smoke one of these. What did I bring here today?
Either that or I'll save that one for tomorrow night and I'll grab something else today. And I'll go with that one tomorrow night to kick it off.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
And I might do the Camacho. Or what is this? Syria. I also have a Kintsugi in here. Kintsugi, I don't want to smoke a light cigar after this heavy thing. This is
not
heavy.
going to get it for you.
I won't do it. The Camacho might be the way I go. I got 5 more Camacho. I got some Ecuador Camachos coming in Saturday, I think. And I got 4 more Milanio V Milanios coming in. I got more of the Diesel Whiskey Row.
Yeah, those are good.
I like that cigar.
Those are good too.
Doesn't have this draw though. This is something special.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It is something special, but a great, like I can't emphasize, a great call. Get your hands on one if you smoke cigars. You'll love it. You'll just absolutely.
So what happened was, because it seemed like I knew a lot about the cigars when I knew nothing. Don said that he got these cigars in, and he wasn't here. He was sick one night, and Bassam was here.
Yep.
So I said to Bassam, will you grab me one of those new smokes? So Bassam just came out and handed me this one.
There you go.
And he says, this is the one I like.
That's great.
So I said, okay. So I went home and smoked it. And when I was in my garage, I was like, half outside, half inside the garage. It was getting late at night. And I lit it, and I was like, what the hell is this? This is such a draw. I couldn't believe it. So then when I was done smoking, I went upstairs, and I started watching on YouTube. There was an interview with the guy who created the cigars. And he was talking about how he worked with Plasencia, and it's like, I was just like,
good stuff.
So you're not talking about Dylan anymore?
Production was better.
It was a short run. It was a short run. Speaking of, I'm going to make a short run.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm grabbing another.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are you going to smoke another?
I'm going to wait until after the show and light up.
It bit you.
It bit me a little. I smoked it too easy.
It's because you can smoke these fast. I'll tell you what you're going to be careful with is the CAO too.
Okay. Well, smoke it slower.
Much slower. The CAO, I think, is stronger than this. Not in flavor, but in everything else.
Oh, okay. So I'll make sure it's a slow smoke.
The CAO is one of those. It's a beautiful cigar, but if you smoke it fast, you're going to be like, "Ooh, I've been hypnotized."
Well,
does Dave mispronounce Powerage? I don't know. What do you say? Powerage? What's the word?
I always said Powerage.
I don't know. We say in the Northeast, we say Powerage. I heard Eddie Van Halen say it was his favorite album by AC/DC, and he said Powerage.
Yeah.
So am I mispronouncing it? I don't know. If I am, I think a lot of people are, Ben. How do you say it, Ben? Write it phonetically how you say it. Andy Dion says production was better in the Johnson era. Production was better when they did Highway to Hell. They brought in Mutt Lange. Mutt Lange did that album. Although I do think the sound on Powerage is just as good. It's just, it's not as American. It's not as big. And AC/DC produced themselves. They got rid of Mutt Lange after For Those About to Rock. So the album that I really love, Flick of the Switch, was produced by them, and they did a great. Oh, see, he says it's pronounced Power Age. I don't think so. Let's ask the people in the chat. Everybody in the chat, do you pronounce it Power Age or Powerage?
That's something I would look up if I were at home.
Can anybody? Ben Deo saying pronouncing the age. I say Powerage. You say Power Age. Powerage will be A. Power Age will be B. Just type in A or B. Let me know which one, how you guys pronounce it. I've never heard anyone pronounce it Power Age.
Almost sounds like a sports drink when you pronounce it that like Powerade.
Let me have the sugar-free Power Age. I don't know.
Dion says A. What was A?
Powerage is A.
Yeah.
Power Age would be B. I don't know. I've just always said Powerage. I consider myself a fast cigar smoker. I can't believe these guys crushed me today on this one.
It's just that it smokes so easy. It's like,
isn't it great?
Yeah. It's like,
yeah, I knew. That's why I was trying to tell you. I said because I knew you never smoked a cigar that smoked like this.
Yeah.
I knew you did. That's why I was saying to you the other day, I'm like, no, you got to try this because it'll change things. Wow. It's good. It gets strong towards the end. Yeah, Powerade. I think it's Powerade ADE though, isn't it?
Yeah, ADE.
Yeah. Interesting. Get more in the shot here. Chuck's going for cigar number 3, by the way. When I came in here to set up, Chuck was halfway done with his first cigar. The guy's a machine.
Yeah.
He's a cigar smoking machine.
Hey, got another the same.
Did.
Excellent.
I said, you know what? It's just too good.
It is.
If there is a knock, it's that this band is next to impossible to get over.
But you can't find the fucking
Can't
seed.
find it now.
Yeah, I just tore mine.
Yeah.
That's what I actually had to tear it. I was like, you gotta be kidding. Here's the
I'll wait till I catch it on fire.
how do you pronounce the album? Powerage or Power Age?
Power Age.
You do
Really?
Power Age?
Either or. I've heard
I
it
know, I'm
both.
asking how you say it.
I say Power Age,
All right.
but it's all one word, so I guess it's Power Age. I don't know.
No, she's saying ask Chuck. Chuck says Power Age. I say Power Age.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up.
Is there a word?
I don't think it's a word.
No, I'm gonna look up the album and maybe it'll say.
Yeah,
You don't think it's a word?
I don't know. Power Age. If it's a word, it's Power Age.
You have amperage.
Power Age. Power Age sounds like porridge, or porridge or something. I don't know. I would say Power Age.
That sounds like you want the sugar-free Power Age before your workout.
Yeah.
Take a protein powder and mix it in with your Power Age.
Great Power Age.
Power Age.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
The way you say it sounds like a dumb name for an album. Look, I didn't name the album.
I don't know how you say it. I'm guessing Power Age, but I'm probably wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
Powerage. Powerage.
Yeah, CI is good, but Greg, let me tell you, Thompson Cigars has a thing called 5-pack fever.
It's the best.
You go
It's
to
the
Five
best.
Pack Fever on Thompson Cigars. You order. You hit the first one. It's going to say Milani OV. You hit it. It'll say your price is $51. The second you hit a second 5-pack in there, your price drops down to $20-something. Right now, it's if you buy 4 5-packs, each 5-pack's $19.99. So you're literally getting Milani OVs for $4. You can't beat that price. $80. You get 100 cigars. You get 100 cigars. Sorry, 20 cigars.
Power.
20 cigars for $80 and all high-end shit. That's where I got this here. The Camacho. I don't know if you can see that well, but
The Hector Camacho.
Is that the Corojo?
this is the Corojo, yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. The Criollo is the one I want to try, but they don't have them in 5-packs. You have to buy a box, and I'm not going to buy a box to try one.
Okay.
And when I went to Brennan's Smoke Shop, they were like, they only had like, everyone they had was the Connecticut. I'm like, and the Nicaragua. So I tried the Nicaragua. It was excellent.
This one says, kind of a dumb question.
I'm just not a huge Foo Fighters fan, Andy.
Officially pronounced Power Age or Power Rage?
What is it?
They pronounce it Power Age or Power Rage.
Who?
This question they asked in this chat.
Yeah, but that's just people answering. That's
Yeah.
not the.
Text Angus and
Let me see if Angus is awake.
I don't know. I would just call it Power Age.
No answers yet.
How to pronounce Powerage?
Powerage. Powerage.
Power Age.
Yeah. I guess it's an actual word.
What's the ACDC farm? What is it? What do they
it
say?
He says he always pronounce this guy's opinion Power Age. I'm not trying to change.
According to Google, it's Powerage. According to how to phonetically pronounce it.
It's a good record either way. I mean, you know.
According to Bon Scott, the correct pronunciation is Power Age.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
My source for the statement is a truly amazing short set by How's it back in the song?
All right. Well, look, I can be wrong. I mean, for years, people say Dire Maker, but yeah,
Yeah,
for Led Zeppelin, the
because
song,
that's how you read it, right?
right, the song's called Jamaica. Which makes sense that it's a reggae piece.
Mm.
Guys, this cigar, I'm telling you, I'm getting near the end of it, and it's like, it just gets better. How do you like this number 2?
I just picked right up. It picked right up where it was. I liked it so much. You know,
It's great. It's uncanny.
it's
Don't you
very
think?
good. It's awesome. The draw. You're right.
When you smoke a cigar like this, when you get the draw like this, it's like, how do you go back?
Yeah, yeah, it's terrific. It's terrific. I think it's excellent.
Yeah.
So, did you get your 3 Bon Scotts? Or did you ask?
Well, I know. I would say my 3 would be for those about Dirty Deeds, Powerage, whatever you want to say,
Highway to Hell.
and Highway to Hell. Is that what you'd say?
Yeah, it sounds right.
I know, like I said,
But I would take Brian Johnson over it. And you have to take Back in Black. How do you live without Back in Black? The record's phenomenal.
the record is phenomenal. Like I said, you really a winner either way.
Yeah.
To me, I think the best of the Bon Scott stuff is If You Want Blood, You Got It.
Oh,
I think that's the best they did with him.
well, because the songs are done right.
Mm.
Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be.
The whole
That
thing.
live riff-raff is
Yeah.
fucking great.
The song If You Want Blood, you know?
Great. But is a song on that album? I don't think it's on that album. I think it's on Highway to Hell after it.
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know. Speaking of Jamaica by Zeppelin,
Go ahead.
a little on the weak side.
That's my least favorite Zeppelin album.
Oh, this is the Holy?
It gets people crazy, but I think the song remains the same. I like the song.
I'm not big on that song
Plan's
either.
voice drives me nuts, and it's so like his balls are in a vice. Sing out, Harry, Harry. I'm just like, no. Rain song, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. One of my
The Crunge I could do without.
The crunge is a throwaway.
I could do without. I love Dancing Days.
I like No Quarter.
Love No Quarter.
Well, are you leaving out Coda as an album?
Well, Coda's an
You say
outtakes record.
It's outtakes, but still a
Yeah.
record.
In Through the
But it was
Outdoor
put together
is okay.
when they were done.
Yeah.
What was?
In Through the Outdoor is okay. It's not great, but it's not bad.
I don't like Hot Dog.
Mm.
I think I like the rest of the album. I'm Gonna Crawl's fantastic. Carousel Amber's good.
Oh, no, Carousel was not good.
Oh, it is. I like Carousel Amber.
That's.
Oh, I like that song.
See, I'm not big on that.
I like All My Love. I like Fool in the Rain's fantastic.
Mm.
I love Southbound Soiree.
Mhm.
Suarez.
I like that one a lot.
Great song. I love In the Evening.
Mm.
What else is on that record? In the Evening, Southbound Soiree. I think we named them all. Like side 2 only has 3 songs.
Mm.
Carousel Amber, All My Love, and I'm Gonna Crawl. I'm Gonna Crawl's
I'm gonna
great.
Crawl's great.
Hey, she's my babe.
Have you ever heard the mix? I think it's on the Zeppelin box where they mix in Moby Dick with Bonzo's Montreux.
No,
Lately, I've been
I've
ordering a
never
lot
heard
from
that
Thompson, more
because,
than Famous.
I had the actual box set with every album in it.
Yeah, I got that.
Stolen
Go to
off
5
my dad.
Packs Eva Bread.
Oh,
What is it?
Oh, I had the complete Led Zeppelin box.
When they weren't in order.
Yeah, album by album.
Oh, album.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
that's
that.
a good one.
It's
That's the good one.
I was just telling him it got stolen on my desk at work.
but they do Moby Dick mixed with Carousel Ambra.
No,
I mean, with Bonzo's Montreux,
Montreux.
excuse me.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
you're talking about that 4-disc set?
No, this is the one you were
that
talking about. Every
record?
record.
Oh.
no. I think he's talking about the 4-box set.
No,
Because
this,
code is separate on every record. It's the every record box set, but it's the songs aren't in order. So Bonzo's Montreux is connected with Moby Dick. That's the original box set.
Yeah,
That's the one I got.
4-disc.
Yeah, that's the
this
original.
one was, I think, every studio record. Because honestly, the record song remains the same. I Can Live Without. I don't think it's up to their standard at all.
Page didn't even want it released.
Yeah,
He
didn't
was
know.
so fucking jacked on drugs on that
Mm.
record. And that's why if you watch that, How the West Was Won is so much better.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
So much better.
I
I
remember
think
when
so.
I first heard Immigrant Song of How the West Was Won when they played that on the radio.
Mm.
It sounds far better.
It's just different. It's better.
When I was a kid, I remember buying Zeppelin albums, trying to find, hey, what can I do?
Yeah, it wasn't on.
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't on
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
It was on the flip side of
Immigrant
Stairway-
Song.
Immigrant Song.
It originally was released on the first pressing of Zeppelin 3. And then they took it off.
They should have left it on.
They should have left it on.
They should have left that
Yeah, I
on.
remember my friend was looking for that too, and he had to buy the 45.
Mm.
With,
Yeah,
B-side.
either the first pressing or like some pressing of that album had it. But yeah.
So there you go. There's a Mount Rushmore for you. Which are, in order, your 4 Zepp albums.
That wouldn't be tough. I'd say, and my 4 would probably make you guys sick.
Mm-mm.
I have to pick 2 albums that are iconic. Because even though they're overplayed, they're iconic. And they'd be the bottom 2 of my Mount Rushmore, but it would be Zeppelin 4 and Zeppelin 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have Physical as my number 1
Mm-hmm.
and probably Presence.
Oh, geez, the presents because
Achilles' Last
Achilles' Last
Stand,
Stand's the
For
best song they ever did.
For
I
Your
think.
Life, Royal Orleans,
Yeah.
Mm.
Candy Store Rock, Nobody's Fault But Mine, Hot's On For Nowhere, and T for One, which I call Since I've Been Loving You Light.
Mm. I would say Physical Graffiti's number 1. I would say Zeppelin 1 is 1A because they're really just so good.
I can't knock I can't knock it. Nothing I can say bad about that album. Your Time Is Gonna Come on, that's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I think those two stand out above the rest of the pack. Honestly.
Go ahead. What's your next two? I don't know how you don't pick 4.
I think you got to put 4.
I think
at
you
3.
have to.
You put 4 at 3. And probably the same as you. I put 2 at 4. I put 4 at 3 and 2 at 4.
All right. Yeah, it's a good
and
list.
I love Presence, so that's why I said 1A. Because I think Achilles' Last Stand is the best song they ever did.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That record's great. For Your Life's great too.
You could argue that showcased everything they could do in one song.
And Royal Orleans was a song that Robert Plant was busting John Paul Jones's balls on, because he was trying to come up with lyrics for a song, and John Paul Jones says, "I never listened to your lyrics. Like, they don't matter." And Plant was like, "Oh, really?" So he wrote a song about how John Paul Jones picked up a trans woman in New Orleans at the Royal Orleans Hotel.
No kidding.
And that's why at the end of the song he goes, "Whiskers." You know what he says? Whiskers?
Yeah.
That's because in the morning the thing had whiskers, and they were like, "You were the dude." They were totally busting his balls. That's what Royal Orleans is about.
Nice.
Try to get some love, but you don't know how to do it.
Yeah. What do you think, Krell?
Well, Physical's my favorite. The Led Zeppelin 2 next, then 4, and the 4th one is going to be difficult for me. It's like I like Presence, I like the first album. Yeah,
I think you got to put the
I'm
first
lost.
record.
I'm lost on the 4th one. I'd have to.
I think 3 is so close in my list. I love 3.
It's not terrible. I mean,
But That's the Way is a great song. I like Hangman.
See, I can live without that one.
Oh, really? Gallows Pole I liked.
The Gallows Pole, because you know what? It's so
That banjo.
it just doesn't fit with them.
Well, the label was pissed about that
It
album.
wasn't a heavy album. It's like
They were pissed that that's the record they came out with. And that's why him and Ahmet Erdogan had words about Zeppelin 3, because he was like, "This doesn't, you guys, what the hell is this?" And he said to him, the album cover was a fucking disaster. They hated the album cover. So on Zeppelin 4, if you notice, there's no band name on the album. It's just a picture of the guy, the hermit.
Yeah.
And so he said, Ahmet Erdogan says, "Well, people aren't even going to know it's your album." He goes, "They'll know. They'll know."
See, we always just growing up, we
And
just call it Zasso.
But Page was also, which was the symbol for Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
But Page was like, "Yeah, no, this is how it's going out." He was pissed at Ahmet Erdogan for giving him shit for Zeppelin 3. So what Ahmet Erdogan did was, when they came up with the plastic wrap around the album, they put a sticker on it that said Led Zeppelin, and then put the 4 symbols on it. Because on the album, when you took the cellophane off, there was no mention of the band except on the very thin side of the album record.
Yeah, we used to call it Zoso and Zasso.
Yeah, Zoso, and they had the 4 symbols, right? You had,
but that's what we
bottom
called
was the 3 circles, right?
Yeah.
Plant was the feather, and what was the and John Paul Jones was the triangle thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
But yeah, we never knew the name of that.
Yeah.
We didn't call it Led Zeppelin 4. We just called it
Yeah.
the Zasso record or whatever. It's also how we say it. That's, we didn't know. But
That's
I
funny.
think on the Rushmore, the point that I'm making for Zeppelin 1 is because that was so groundbreaking with what they were doing. Like, that introduced you to that sound.
It
You
was,
know
but
what
if
I
you
mean?
think about it, it wasn't even.
It was a cover record, really.
But
the
it
way
wasn't
they
even
did-
out that long. I mean, it was out in they released it in like March of '69, and in September of '69 they've already put out Zeppelin 2. So it wasn't like it even had a lot of time to mature on the radio. It was just like that was boom and boom. And then Zeppelin 2 with Whole Lot of Love, Heartbreaker, Thank You, Living, Love and Made, What Is and What Should Never Be.
Yep.
I think it definitely shadowed.
Yeah,
how
it
good
was,
Zeppelin
it
1
was.
was.
It could have been a double record. Although I gotta say, I think out of all the big Zeppelin ones, I'm not a fan of Black Dog.
Yeah, Black Dog was his answer to Oh Well by Fleetwood Mac.
It's just not. I just don't.
I hear you on it.
You know
I
what I
dig
mean?
it. I dig it because I dig the time the way when it's like that drum groove is so fucking
It
killer
is,
to
but
me.
it's
And when it goes, oh baby, pretty baby, baby, whatever the hell he's saying.
The way
there,
that
like,
guitar riff turns around.
yeah, it's,
Yeah,
yeah, it's killer. I dig it. What I don't like on that record is rock and roll.
It's Little Richard.
Just
I hear you
not-
knocking.
Yeah, just not. Yeah,
It's Little Richard.
yeah, just not happening.
But I gotta say, I like it.
It's okay, but it's like it's the weak thing for me on that record. I loved Battle of Evermore, Stairway. I like Misty Mountain Hop, Four Sticks.
Misty Mountain Hops. You can make a case that
Going to
might be right up
California.
there.
Yeah, it's great. Just killer shit. I mean, say what you want about them, but that record was 1971, and it's 2022, and we're talking about that
Right.
album.
Right. Well, no, I think everybody can agree.
God,
there's no
we're
bad ones.
old.
Yeah. There's no bad ones on there. I'm just saying.
You know, that reminds me of that when I met, when I first moved to Los Angeles, I worked at a restaurant called Gladstone's, which is on the ocean. And I used to see everybody. I ran into every celebrity there. But I met George Clinton.
Oh, okay.
And I went up to George Clinton. And I was a huge Parliament and Funkadelic fan. So and in his solo stuff. So I was like, George Clinton, I'm a huge fucking fan. You're a legend. And he says, don't ever call me a legend. A legend means I'm old. Be that as it may, you're a fucking legend.
Nice.
Those who oppose to me live up next to this. I ain't the devil, this ain't the exorcist. I loved him. I love old Funkadelic.
Yeah. Being our age, I mean, it's like we were exposed to like the pinnacle of like rock history, basically. Sure, we didn't exist in the '60s that much, you know, by a couple of years in the '50s.
But it was still-
I mean, like the '70s, '80s.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it was when we grew up too, you still had AM radio, so you still got to hear
Yeah.
all the original stuff.
Yeah.
You got to hear rock and roll turn into rock, turn
Yeah,
into
yeah,
hard rock,
yeah.
turn into metal. We got, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, my mother had an AM radio in her car, and I can tell you, I remember when Diamond Girl came out. I was 5 years old. Diamond
Yeah,
Girl,
the Seals and Crofts.
absolutely. And I remember when like a Summer Breeze was on the radio every damn day. And when I was 7, I remember when Dance With Me would be on the radio, all on AM radio shit.
Well, didn't your guy Picaro played on all those, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he did. Seals and all of
He
that.
played on Diamond Girl. That was the first record he played on, yeah. And then later he played on Boz Scaggs' Lowdown, and the lead guitar on that is the guy who produced all the
kidding.
all the Seals and Crofts stuff. Louis Shelton, who's fucking awesome. Played with the Monkees. Louis is
Yeah,
awesome.
He plays guitar in Valerie. There,
Yeah, he played. Yeah, it's great.
Was
And then the video, you just see hands playing the thing, and they make it look like Nesmith is playing it.
Yeah, but Louis was a great player. I love the solo in. He also plays the solo in "Hello, Is It Me?"
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
look, which I do on the channel. If you guys ever seen it, also on the channel, if you guys notice, most of you probably have. Keel, I'm going with 4.
Why does Into the Outdoor get shit on so much?
Because it's a heavy keyboard album, and there's a lot of infighting going on in that record. In fact, John Paul Jones claims he had more in the production of it because Page was a mess, and Page says no way. But Page was such a mess in 1979, I would totally believe John Paul Jones. Because it's a heavy keyboard album.
Well,
the whole record is mixed heavy keyboard.
I would say the record gets shit on because it follows Physical Graffiti and Presence, and then it's like a drop off into like synthesizer. It
it was
just
still
didn't.
good, though.
It was still very
In the
good.
evening was good. I mean, to me, in the evening, you don't have what's that? There's a song, "Lonely Is the Night."
Yeah.
Billy
So
Squier.
you don't have that without in the evening.
Yeah.
It's the same guitar lick. Down, 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 down. Wow.
See, I like the sloppy part at the beginning, like that. It's almost like bubbles. You know what I mean? When Page just says, "Give me that stuff straight out of it." You know what I mean?
When he's doing well, first the first thing he's playing is with a Gizmotron, right? The right, that it's that thing that you push the string and there's a wheel that spins and makes the string go.
Oh, okay.
They sell them now.
The Evo?
No, it's called
No,
the Gizmotron.
Gizmotron.
It was designed by either Godley or Cream,
Okay, one.
the guy from 10cc.
Mm.
But it's this thing that goes by the bridge, and it's 6 spinning wheels, and they spin super fast. They're made of rubber, and you push down on it, and then it touches the string, and then so you don't pick. This is your pick now, so it's you hit it, and that's what he's like. That whole beginning is on a Gizmotron.
Oh, okay. Did not
And then-
know that.
And the solo, when you hit, he's like let goes of the spring, and that's that spring hitting the ring, echoing in the reverb
Oh, okay.
of the solo in the evening. But yeah, great stuff.
I just think it's like 3 following 1 and 2. That following Physical Graffiti and Presence. They're both good records, but they were a letdown from that high octane stuff, I think.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of those to take home. I'm going to have one this week.
Now, what's that?
This is a Camacho. Let me see if I can hold this up here. Let me know. This is the Camacho
Yeah, it's coming in focus.
Criollo in the Robusto size. Full body cigar. Camacho was a brand that I did not like for a long time, and then somebody told me that they changed factories, and I went and tried a few of their cigars, and I'm like, wow, they're good. I hated these, and now I think they're pretty good. But 15 years ago, I did not like Camachos. So, but this will not have the luxuriant. That's a good word. The luxuriant draw.
That's like Powridge.
Yeah.
Luxuriant.
Luxuriant. That's a word that I learned from Jim Morrison.
Nice. So there you go. LA Woman, best doors record. Yes or no?
No,
No.
I think the first album's better.
First album's fantastic.
I just like Alabama Song.
Yep.
I like Soul Kitchen.
Yep.
I like the Crystal Ship.
Crystal Ship's off the charts. Great.
Light My Fire.
We're gonna make
Break
some
On
enemies.
Through.
I'm not that big of a Doors fan. I like some songs, but it's like,
I've gone through phases where I love them, and I've gone through phases where I hate them. And I've not listened to them for so long, but now when I go back and hear them, I totally respect what they did. I thought they were interesting. You know, more keyboard-centric band in the late 60s.
I look at it this way. If you listen to
The Changeling is the greatest song they ever did.
if you listen to the song The Changeling, I think what they did with that, to insult no one, that covers what Quincy Jones wishes he was, what Isaac Hayes wishes he was, what every Motown-based artist was wanting to grab. That song covers it.
I live
I mean, they
uptown.
didn't just hit it out of the park with that. They hit it out of the parking lot. You know what I mean? That song is just so.
Yeah, no. Well, what was really bad is that they tried continuing without Morrison. They released.
Yeah, you can't.
It's
You can't.
Well, I liked the American Prayer album. I like that a lot. Where they,
Well, that
they
took
put
his-
music. They put music
yeah,
to his
yeah.
poetry, and then they use some of the songs. But awake, shake dreams from
Well,
your
I'm
ear. Choose
thinking
the
of
day.
stuff
Choose
like-
the sign of your day.
Eye of the Sun type stuff, you know. Yeah, I think Robbie Krieger was singing.
Nobody wants to hear Krieger sing.
Yeah,
It's not even Robbie Krieger.
Yeah, so you,
No,
you
it's
can't have
This actually is drawing really well. Not like that,
Mhm.
but as best as you're going to get a regular cigar to smoke.
I think the box press has a lot to do with it.
Right.
I do.
wow, you're puffing that down too now.
Yeah, that's
It's,
it's just going so
down.
it's like water. It's just going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say LA Woman and the Doors.
Doors is great. Yeah, what's after the Doors? Is it
Soft Parade.
no, that's later.
Morrison Hotel.
No, that's
Strange
after
Days.
Soft Parade. Strange Days.
Mm.
That's the second one with Hello, I Love You. Love Street. Then the third one would be
Soft Parade.
yeah,
Morrison Hotel was after that.
Fourth.
I think.
Morrison Hotel. Yeah, Morrison Hotel has Peace Frog.
Yeah.
I'm a Spy.
Mm.
It's a great song. I'm a Spy. That's a great. And then the other one there, 71 there.
Well, that was LA Woman.
Yeah.
LA Woman. I'll tell you what. Listen to that record, Krell. You'll like it.
Mm. Oh yeah, well I'm
It's-
familiar with a lot of songs on it.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big Doors.
What else is on it? LA Woman, Love Her Madly.
Crawling King Snake. Texas Radio.
What's Riders on the Storm?
Riders on the Storm's on there.
It's a great song.
What else is? What's
That's
the
their
other one
best
on there?
song.
Riders on the Storm's on there, and so is. Son of a gun! I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of it.
I can tell you, whenever I hear Rise on a Storm, I can smell the rain.
Yeah.
It's like, because especially
Yeah.
with the story of how they record the thunder,
Mm.
you know, they were rehearsing it or something, and they recorded the thunder, whatever, and they used on the album.
Well, song "LA Woman's" on there too.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good record. It's definitely better than Morrison Hotel.
Mm.
What's on the Soft Parade? Is that Not to Touch the Earth?
Yeah. That's the most psychedelic one, I think.
Oh no, Waiting for the Sun is also an album.
That might be their second one.
No. Strange
third?
Days is. I think Waiting for the Sun is the third, then Soft Parade, then Morrison Hotel. That's how I'm going to go. That's my guess. First album, Strange Days, Waiting for the Sun. That had Not to Touch the Earth. Then the Soft Parade, which,
Doors, discography.
and then Morrison Hotel, and then
Okay, let's see. Doors, discography. Yeah, come on. All right, put discography. Yeah.
how's the audio, guys? The audio good? We have this this fan that's blowing up all the smoke. You can see like the smoke just rises like this.
Okay, it was the Doors.
That's
then
the first
it was
one, 67.
Strange Days,
Strange Days.
67 as well. Waiting for the Sun,
Waiting for the Sun.
68.
Soft Parade.
Soft Parade, 69.
Yeah.
Morrison Hotel, 70.
Yeah.
LA Woman, 71.
What's on Morrison Hotel?
Peach Frog.
Morrison,
That's Peace Frog, but there's another good song on that record that I liked.
track listing. Okay, Roadhouse Blues, Waiting for the Sun, You Make Me Real, Peace Frog, Blue Sunday. Is that what you're thinking of?
Nope, keep going.
Ship of Fools,
Yeah, Ship of Fools is good.
Land Ho,
Go ahead.
The Spy,
Yeah, The Spy.
Queen of the Highway, Indian Summer, and Maggie McGill.
Okay. And go to Soft Parade. That's the one we don't know anything on.
It's on Soft Parade. The end might be on Soft Parade.
Oh, the end's the last song on the first album.
Is it?
Track listing. Okay, Tell All the People, Touch Me,
Touch Me is the big
That's
hit.
fantastic.
Shaman's Blues, Do It, Easy Ride, Wild Child,
Wild
Running
Child's
Blue,
not bad.
Wishful Sinful, and Soft Parade.
Yeah, it's a weak album. Guys, how's the audio? Can you hear Krell at all?
Am I talking too low?
You're talking soft to me, but I don't know if the mic's picking you up. I don't know what we got. I'm sans cans. Can you give me sanctuary?
Yep. Back to the chat.
Which one are you looking up?
No, I'm going back to the chat.
Oh, all right, good. Oh, you had to chat it before? I did not know that. I did not know. That is weird, wacky stuff.
Mhm.
You are correct, Seth.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck, you're flying to that cigar. This
good.
is number 3 for you. What did you smoke when you first got?
I had a Green Hornet by Black Label, which is my favorite wine. And then 2 of these.
Yeah. You digging that?
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Might come in with a third one tomorrow.
Oh, wow. This is very good. Just for a follow-up cigar.
Camachos are always good.
Big
Drawing
label
it.
on that.
What's that?
Big label on that.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
But it's drawing really
Easy to
good.
get off. Easy
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
pop right
You
off.
you just follow the things right here. So I just peel it right. Gone.
Nice.
All right, what else in the chat? Anyone in the chat have any questions?
Yeah, we're an open book.
And you guys, this is just like a test thing because it's Labor Day, and I didn't want to be up all night doing the regular show, and so I suggested this to these guys. We're for it. And I also wanted to test the waters here because this back room that we're in right now, we could actually do the whole the show. There's like 8 of us. We argue music. We argue. Steve-O will argue sports.
Sports. I'll argue sports with anybody.
To the end of the end of day. So
and don't say anything bad about Clapton in front of him. I get
say
on
things
his
about
bad
Clapton
side so easily.
Yeah.
That and Patriots. They're just
Tom Brady. You'd think Tom Brady's his kid.
I'm not a Patriots hater. I just what did I say to him that gum? I said as a whole, Patriots fans are fair weather fans, and he fuck her up, blah, blah.
Oh, he goes nuts.
Yeah. You know, when's football season start? Next week?
Thursday.
No, Thursday. Thursday night football.
Not this. Is it this? Yeah, it is this Thursday.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched football for 3 years. I may watch Thursday night's game. The second I see something woke or political, I'm shut.
They shouldn't.
Fucking thing.
They shouldn't. I think they stopped showing all that stuff.
Yeah.
I look at it this way: don't show it. Don't give it a platform. Don't. You know what I mean? Don't show it. You know, if I'm there, I'm booing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, a rule I want to see implemented in football too is if a player calls for a penalty.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree. So
it's like a whine to the refs.
That's a great one. Again, this will get everybody worked up.
Because that'll end the favoritism, especially with quarterbacks. The one, if it's a popular quarterback,
yeah,
you know, it gets a flag like 3 hours after.
Or if the guy's going, throw the flag, throw the flag now. I think 2 things. There's that if the player calls for the flag or embellishment. Like you touch the guy and the guy like complains.
Yeah,
it's not basketball. It's not soccer.
They do that
football.
in hockey.
They do it in hockey now too. But
in
hockey, you get a penalty for embellishment.
Yeah.
So I think they should add the embellishment penalty to football. It's a contact sport.
Yep.
You unfootball football when you allow that stuff. I can't stomach that stuff.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
I told Jenny you guys needed more drinks. Make it
Thank you,
vodka.
sir.
There's 14 people in the chat. Anyone have any questions? Any musical questions you guys want to bring up? Any musical arguments you want to bring up? Any anything? Any period. Been a quiet room. Greg's been doing more of the yapping, which we appreciate, Greg.
Yeah, he asked the question: is Thompson better than Famous for cigars?
I like Thompson because the 5-pack fever. I said that to him. I like.
Okay.
Famous has a lot of great prices. If you just want to pick up a 5-pack of something or a box of something. Holt's also very good, but you can't beat the prices of 5-pack fever.
No,
can't beat it.
You get a box of 4 different kinds of top shelf cigars for $100.
$80 this week.
Yeah.
Everything's $40.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nuts.
What it is, I would say this: shop around. Sign up for all the emails. You got to
shop around. Shop around
every day.
Shop.
Actually, you know what popped in my mind was Captain Tennille.
Oh,
doing that.
Well, the funny is,
Smokey Robinson.
I was going to say this. You're not the smoky one, but the Captain and Tennille. You love a good Tony Tennille.
Tony
Most
Tennille,
underrated rock
beautiful
drummer.
or not?
Who's that?
Tony Tennille, was she beautiful or not?
For the time.
She was brutal. She was beautiful to 8-year-old Dave Levine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
to adult Dave Levine, I would say no.
Yeah, there was like.
But when I was a kid, I was like, wow.
There's that line from Arthur, where he says, you know, I forget the name. So and so looks good in the right light. She can be pretty stunning, but you can't always depend on that light.
You can't. Right. Hugh Caldwell says, who's the most underrated rock drummer?
Underrated.
So it's a great question. Underrated.
Ian Pace.
Yeah, I love you.
I love Ian Pace too, but I think he gets forgotten a lot.
He definitely doesn't get mentioned. You know, a lot of it has to do with because I just think the sound of his drums, they never recorded well.
Well, they don't put him up front.
But they're just not mixed well, and so to me. But is he underrated? Who's underrated? Underrated. Somebody that doesn't get the love.
I think
Aronoff.
Ian Pace. Who's that?
Kenny Aronoff. Is that his name?
I think that people love Aronoff. I think David Palmer. He right now plays with Rod Stewart, but David Palmer was in the band ABC on the first album.
Yeah, was he on the?
He was with the, and man, anyone that drums on Mind Bomb like that, the drumming is so phenomenal on that record, and he's a name nobody knows.
I would say Clem Burke from Blondie's underrated.
Oh, he's great.
Clem Burke's great.
You think he's underrated?
I always, he used to have his drums totally. They weren't tilted. They were straight. How the hell does he play like that?
Well, it depends, Andrew Collins, on what record and what song you're talking about. Like on Off the Wall and on Thriller, there's different drummers. Jeff Beccaro plays on that record, and there's other drummers that play on it. Just depends on what session guy was on it. Nigel Olsen, Splyer says.
From Elton John.
You could say Tony Thompson's underrated.
Is Nigel Olsen an American guy?
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm joking. Nigel and Olsen.
Yeah.
You couldn't get more British sounding.
No.
And here he is all the way from Wisconsin, Nigel Olsen. What?
Actually, he could be from Minnesota.
Here's a corn-fed Nebraska boy who's been playing drums since he was 8. Nigel Olsen, everybody. What?
He's an English
Nigel?
English Swede.
Yeah, Clem is awesome. We love Clem. Clem on the song Dreaming Alone is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a very good question, though, about underrated drummers.
See, Tony Thompson's underrated. Just the Power Station record alone, he was sensational.
The stuff he played with Chic.
He sat in with Zeppelin at Live Aid, right? Him and Phil Collins.
Yeah, which caused the whole rift between Phil Collins and Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But Tony Thompson was great in Chic, which means he was great in Sister Sledge. He was great in Diana Ross. He's a great drummer.
Well, I'd have to say a guy from Mr. Mystic, Pat Mastoletto. He ended up playing for King Crimson after he left Mr. Mystic.
Mr. Mister's a great band. That's an underrated band. Steve Farris.
I think your guy Beccaro gets left out too much.
I think everyone knows he's in the top 3.
I wouldn't put him in the top 3.
He's one of my favorites.
I think he's underrated.
Oh, you don't think he's top 3?
No.
He's my number 1.
Number 1.
He is.
Over Bonham, over Pert.
Well, Bonham's my favorite. I think, you had to say to me, do I think Bonham is a better drummer than Jeff Beccaro?
Probably no.
I don't think so. Jeff's my favorite. My favorite, I think he's the best. I think he's a chameleon on every record. And that's what you want. You want a guy he's just so solid. I'm a huge Jeff Beccaro fan.
Yeah, I can name people that aren't really underrated, but they're not known. Like,
Usually Terry Rosehill.
Marco Miniman. You're familiar with his comic? I mean, he's got a unique style. But I wouldn't say he's underrated.
No, I wouldn't say
drum circles, everyone knows who Marco Miniman is.
I'm just saying, I don't think.
Hugh says Terry Bozzio, but I think Terry gets. I mean, anyone that played with Zappa gets the accolades. Chester Thompson, says Barry Bowman. Chester played on the live stuff, right, with Genesis.
How about Jason Bonham?
Overrated.
Overrated?
I think so.
Romanticized?
Yeah,
I think he's romanticized.
He's the lucky sperm of John Bonham, but I don't know if he's. Rick Marotta is fantastic, and so is his brother Jerry.
Have you seen anything Alan White's done with Yes? Is he a good drummer, would you say?
He used to play with Lennon.
Yeah.
And then he was with Yes.
Is Charlie Watts underrated?
I don't like his style.
I don't think he's underrated. I think he's good. I like him, but I just
What about Ringo?
overrated.
Overrated.
He's the best drummer in the Beatles.
Well, he's not. That's the line.
I did.
Do you think Ringo's the best drummer in the world? I don't think he's the best drummer in the band. Simon Phillips says Hugh Caldwell. I liked him on Empty Glass. I didn't like him in Toto, although I do like him on the Tamboo album.
And again, in drummer circles, he's not underrated. But I mean, like, no, you say Simon Phillips, no one's gonna know who the hell he is.
I think Alex Van
You know who
Halen's
I-
overrated.
I don't know if he's overrated. He's very good. You know what I like was
No, I think
Johnny
Alex is
Vatos
underrated.
I think he's
Fernandez
overrated.
from Boingo Boingo. I liked. Matos. I liked him.
Who has more iconic grooves? Ringo? Grooves got to be Bono.
Grooves. I don't think Ringo ever had a groove in his life. I mean, he's playing songs, but I've never sat there and heard somebody say to me, the drum groove on that song makes the song.
He got in his groove with his wife. He had the best looking wife.
That he did.
Barbara Bach. Yeah, Barbara Bach. Right.
I'm not a big Ringo fan. I'll be honest.
Well, I'm not a fan of his drumming or whatever, but I mean his personality and stuff.
As a guy, he's definitely the
I loved him. I loved him in Caveman.
Oh yeah, Zug Zug.
Well, Bill Ward. Bill Ward, I think, is very underrated. I think he's much better than people give him credit for.
Play his drumming in War Pigs.
Mm.
No, he was great, but that's a different time also, like very orchestra time.
Mm.
Could he play to a click in today's world? No, but that doesn't take away what he did. I mean, he was great for Black Sabbath.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff today is too sanitized.
No, I agree. Well, that's the thing. Is some
sanitized.
guys can play in that context and not sound too sanitized. And that's the real. Like when a guy has a groove, Like Tony Thompson, he was a groove player.
Well, now you got to bring up Bernard Purdy.
James Gadson could play with a groove. Here's a name nobody knows, James Gadson, but Gadson was awesome. Plays on Use Me. Gadson was like the originator of the one-handed 16ths.
Oh, okay.
He was a monster.
If you had to name a tune just by the drums, well, Alex Van Halen, Hot for Teacher. There's that.
I could tell you Living After Midnight from that square beat in the beginning of that.
Yeah.
Right, I can tell you that.
Yeah. That's gold.
Yeah. What version of Genesis gave you more pleasure, pre-Gabriel or post? This is not a musical technical question. It's just what do you like better? So I love the I like a lot the Peter Gabriel Genesis. My favorite era of Genesis is probably Duke and Abacab.
Yeah.
Those two records back to back are like the oddly enough, they're the same years, are the permanent waves of moving pictures of Genesis.
Yeah, they transitioned into Phil Collins and stuff, and those first few albums were.
In '81, he started doing his solo shit. And I just thought he started becoming a little bit too.
Well, the problem
poppy.
is he turned Genesis into a solo band.
Yeah. Andrew Collins says,
it's funny. I heard Abacab on the way over here.
Oh, no good.
Bernard Edwards or John Taylor of Duran Duran.
Oh, no good.
I played with John.
That middle part there where.
John's a great player.
When you
but Bernard Edwards is one of my all-time favorites.
And
that's going to be tough.
It's
the '83 Genesis album was good. I didn't care for Mama.
Well, did we leave Genesis off the prog rock discussion?
I love Just a Job to Do.
We met. I had mentioned Genesis.
Cozy Powell says, Greg. Did you love Powell?
I love Cozy Powell.
It's great.
I love Cozy Powell.
Andrew Collins was saying, Jamie Fisher says he saw Alan White with Yes, and he was awesome. Andrew Collins says Bernard Edwards or John Taylor from Duran Duran. Bernard Edwards produced John Taylor on the Power Station album. But Bernard Edwards, to me, has more iconic bass stuff, although I think the bass line on Rio is fantastic. And I like John Taylor a lot. Like I said, I got to play with John. That was a real fun time.
Cozy Powell, I think, was good with every band he was in.
John's stage volume is absurd. When I played with John Taylor.
Yeah.
Very difficult to hear my guitar over his bass.
Sounds like my bass player.
He was the feature, was his band, and I'd have no problem with it, but he plays very loud on stage.
Right? When I played. And his bass would be so loud, and I'd sit next to him and stuff. Even though it had plugged, the vibration stuff was.
Yeah. But in John's defense, John knows how to EQ his bass, so it sounded fantastic. I like his bass sound a lot. I mean, but Bernard Edwards has some of the most iconic bass lines. all that Chic stuff, the Diana Ross stuff. Thinking of You by Sister Sledge is one of my all-time favorite bass lines. That's an underrated song. If you guys don't know Thinking of You by Sister Sledge, look it up. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're more than just We Are Family.
Oh, they were great.
Another one, if you could just name that tune, is the beginning of what's the first song on Peace of Mind, Nickel McBrain?
Where Eagles Dare.
Where Eagles Dare. Yeah, that's about as good as you're gonna get right there, as far as
the snow on the ground is piling up, the engines roaring the night.
So we're still talking about identifying songs by drums.
Well, he just brought that up.
Yeah.
How about Phil Collins, Don't Care Anymore?
Yeah.
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 What about the drum machine on Lonely Man on the Corner?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, a good drum song with Phil Collins is Easy Lover. You can tell that one by the drums, too. That's real good.
I love Philip Bailey.
Yeah, they're both fantastic on that.
I actually like the drummer of Earth, Wind & Fire a lot, Fred White. He was great. Songs like Running.
The guitar solo in Easy Love is great, too. That was Korchmar, Danny Korchmar.
Oh, was it Danny?
Was it? I always get him confused with...
He played guitar. He also played keyboard.
Yeah. I always get him confused with another guitar player. I want to make sure I'm not getting confused.
Daryl Sturmer.
Yeah.
Probably Sturmer, because he played a lot with Phil Collins.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny. You knew
Danny,
exactly what I was saying.
Well, Danny Korchmar was the... he did a lot of stuff with...
Neil Young.
No, with Don Henley.
Oh, okay.
Wade 6242
Daryl
says
Sturmer.
Chester Thompson. Yeah, Andrew Collins, great song.
Two names, totally different. But
Yeah.
I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
Did Ringo play on Come Together? Because that was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. On some of the... I think he played on everything on the Abbey Road. I mean, I know there's a couple of songs on the White Album that Paul plays on. Other than that, I think Ringo plays on mostly everything. Yeah. The drum intro to Satisfaction by Devo. I love him. Alan Myers.
Alan Myers, the human metronome.
Fucking love him. I always...
Intro to Quality.
There's my underrated drummer.
Yeah.
Alan Myers of Devo. Listen
Nice.
to the intro to Clock Out. Giggity, 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 giggity. We got a... that Clock Out alone. Fucking Alan Myers is awesome.
You made that sound like Quagmire.
Yeah, giggity, giggity, giggity. Well, it's all those triplets.
Yeah.
One of the. It's all there. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, the intro to Call on Me by Blondie.
Hey, Janice, how are you?
That's
Call
good.
me.
George Clem.
Yeah. But that starts out with nice drums.
Alan Myers, some of those Devo songs, man, like especially on Duty Now for the Future in the first album there. What's that one? Are We Not Men? The drums are raw.
Yeah.
They're good. By Whip It, it was like drum machine sounding.
And the story was with them was that they turned off his cans, basically, his monitor mix.
Yeah.
That they were, and he was playing the song, and it shut off in his ears, but they were still listening to it, and he didn't go off time at all.
What
Really?
who was this?
Alan Myers.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
it's
just
like-
nuts. Ask Krelbar, what is the name of that pita bread?
Yeah.
The mic's here.
Yeah, it's I'm talking to my phone.
I know.
Yeah, it's called George's pita bread. It comes out of Worcester. I'm not sure if it makes it down to. I think you can get it in a market basket sometimes, but mostly it's at Hannaford's.
Do you guys have Hannafords down there, Janice? Greg McCurtain says, tough question. Hottest rock star wife or girlfriend? Be careful.
Oh, geez, rockstar wife. Well,
I don't know.
mentioned Ringo's wife, Barbara Bach, is hot. And Heather Locklear was hot.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about today, or are we talking about a period in time?
And then Christy Brinkley. Yeah, I'm going backwards there.
Hey now, Tim Thomas. You know, the thing about hot wives and stuff like that is sometimes I look at the dude they're with and I'm like, if that girl's with him, she's not hot. There's something not clicking right.
Well, you got money and fame. It goes a long way.
I'll tell you whose wife I hate, and is equally as much as I hate him, is Duff McKagan and his wife Susan. Because they ruined Ozzy's Boneyard with an hour show called Three Chords and the Truth. And they couldn't be anything further from the truth. These fucking liberal shitbags. I can't stomach them. I cannot stomach this. And it's like he talks about, you know, it's like, I'm not a Guns N' Roses fan, so I'm like, Duff, who gives two fucks? And you didn't even write the shit. You just get off my fucking rate. What the hell is wrong with Sirius when they got DJs now? This guy, something Roth on Ozzy's Boneyard. All he does is likes to hear himself talk. I'm like, dude, play the fucking songs and shut up. Oh, yeah, so here's a story about Ozzy real quick. No, not real quick. Shut up and play
Ralph from The Godfather?
Hi, Ralph, I like. Yeah, Andrew Collins says Heather Locklear is not looking good these days.
Yeah, well, age is a funny. Ben Davis says Travis Barker's wife, whoever that might be. I have no idea.
You don't know who Travis Barker's wife is, or who Travis Barker is?
I know who Travis Barker.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really follow any of these guys' personal lives that I would care.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the problem.
We're gonna find out what Travis Barker's wife looks like. Travis Barker's wife. Kourtney Kardashian? I don't find any of the Kardashians.
No, Kim Kardashian, when she was first, around the time when she made that porn, she looked good. I'm just saying, she looked good then. Duff worked at the Black Angus in Northridge. I used to go to the Black Angus in Burbank.
Black Angus would be a good name for
in Northridge. You know, I love Brent's Deli.
Yeah.
What?
Black Angus would be a good name for African American AC/DC tribute.
Oh yeah, if they did like R&B versions of all AC/DC tunes.
Man, I think we're onto something.
And you call the band Black Angus. I love it.
Nice.
Three best. Oh, Hugh Caldwell with a great question. Hey,
that's a whole show, bud.
3 best years for albums.
Well, we did 71.
I know you like 71. I brought up 71, but I think my years are 79, 80, and 81.
71, 81.
I'm almost lost on questions like this because, you know, you can ask me an album and I'm pretty good at telling you what year it is, but when you say, oh, the albums that came out this year, I just draw a blank. It's like 82 is a good year.
Great year.
That's a whole show.
Asia came out that year.
You have to think about it.
That's a whole show, but I think that's a whole show.
I would have to do homework.
I think that's a whole show.
Yeah, you have to come back with that answer. That's a long one. But Hugh and I did a few years shows together, like where we went over the best years. And 80's my all-time favorite year, period. 1980. Back in Black, British Steel, Women and Children First.
Queen the Game.
Ace of Spades.
I mean, you can go on and on with 1980. I can even go to the R&B stuff that I loved in 1980.
I think
Teddy Pendergrass TP record was 80.
I think Tattoo U's 80. Or is it 81?
No, Emotional Rescue's 80.
Emotional Rescue's
81 is Tattoo U.
I was going backwards.
Yeah, and Emotional Rescue's could be one of my favorite Stones albums. Little Indian Girl, Send It to Me. You guys may have already covered it, but what did you think of Wolfgang playing Van Halen songs at the Taylor Hawkins tribute show? Well, I'll tell you what I thought of it. Somebody told me that there was a Taylor Hawkins tribute show, and I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't see it.
Nope.
And I won't be watching it. I just don't care.
I didn't see it.
I mean, yeah, it's sad that he died. I wasn't a huge Foo Fighters fan, but I don't care. And so, like, Wolfgang's playing Van Halen. Good for him. He's playing songs that his dad wrote. Good for him. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't put money into it. I wouldn't put time into it.
Hall & Oates was Voices.
Voices was 1980.
Yep. Kiss on My List. You Make My Dreams.
Kiss Unmasked.
This is a freaking
Horrible
Rolling
album.
Stones list.
Yeah, I can't
A
go
Rolling
with that.
Stone list. So.
Oh, from 1980.
Yeah.
Elvis what was the Elvis Costello album in '80? Get Happy.
Of course, they got Dylan.
What album did Dylan put out in 1980? The
Saved.
Shitbag Chronicles.
Saved.
I don't know.
He sucks. MTV just uploaded Hawkins' Sons
Against the Wind.
E to the Beat, I think, is 79.
Yeah, I
think 80's Auto American Hue.
Which was the one with the Heart of Glass?
That was like 78.
78, that's Parallel Lines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 78 was an awesome year. So was 77.
I'm telling you, that's a whole show. I think we start next week. We get right on that. That's a whole show.
If you want to probably get the concert in dribs and drabs, all for MTV.
No, Genesis Duke you mentioned. Yeah. Zenyatta Mandata.
Yeah, Eno didn't like him, and Robert Margoloff produced the Whip It album, the Freedom of Choice album. And Margoloff was one of the guys who produced the early Stevie Wonder Talking Book, and I believe Intervisions. He was a keyboard wizard, Robert Margoloff. And although my favorite Devo album is the second one, and I don't know who produced that album, Ken something.
Oh, jeez.
It's Ken something. I'm just going off the top of my head. I can see it on the cassette. Is it Ken Scott? But I like that album the best.
Yeah, we're talking Duty Now for the Future.
I like Duty Now, yeah, with the Devo corporate anthem.
Yeah.
Rise
for the anthem?
Fucking killer shit, man.
Nice.
One of my favorite Devo songs, The Day My Baby Gave Me a Surprise.
I've got a surprise.
It's-
Wow, woo. Oh, it's like, wait. Mr. Kamikaze, Mr. DNA, Smart Patrol, Red Eyes on that record. Pink Pussycat. I love that
Pink
album.
Pussycat. Wiggly World.
Wiggly World, Strange Pursuit.
It's a
Blockhead.
strange pursuit.
Intersecting love lines drew us closer every day. Bow, 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 bow. Clock
I
Out.
remember when I was first talking to you, I realized you were a Devo fan. I said, no friggin' way.
Clock Out.
Nice.
We got a giggity.
Nice.
Clock Out. Ah, fucking great.
Speaking of clock out, I got to clock out, sir.
You do?
Yeah, I got to
Well,
clock
it's
out.
12 past 7 right now. We've been over 2
All right.
hours.
All right, Janice, I've got an uncontrollable urge. He's got an uncontrollable.
Also known as the theme to Ridiculousness on MTV.
Was it?
Yeah.
That their version of Satisfaction, I think, is
Well,
fantastic.
Mick Jagger said he loved that version.
I think it's
It's great.
fantastic.
It's great.
All right, folks, Chuck's going to bail, and
Yeah,
we're going
I got to clock out.
to call it a night, folks. Want to thank everyone for hanging out with us on Labor Day. Sun's starting to go down. We end this early, and I can go home and actually eat a square meal. Be nice.
Nice.
And Krell, anything you want to say?
No, I think I said it all.
How about you, Chuck? Anything you want to say to the
See you
folks?
see you next time. It was fun as always.
Yeah, hold
See you
on.
next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do the Tuesday thing soon, so we'll figure that all out. And here's the main outro. There we go. All right, everyone. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. And we'll see everybody soon. I have a lesson coming out next Monday again. And this is just a may film my live show Saturday night. I don't know yet, but I had a friend of mine ask me if I would, and I'm thinking about it. So Saturday day I'm playing a gig. I'm not going to film that, but Saturday night I might film. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. Hit the like button before you leave. And if you like this show, leave a comment for me in the comments and let me know that you like this format. All right, guys, and we will see you soon. All right, very good.
Later all.
Okay, goodbye, Ted.